Good morning, or afternoon, actually, excuse me. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the start to your weekend. So playing some more Vaudeville today and hoping to do a little bit better than last time. This is a really challenging one. If you're not familiar with the game, almost all of it is run off of AI. So it's very easy to get the AI into this loop where they're just not really giving you useful information. The other thing about this game that's a little annoying is that although it saves your notes from your previous play, that's all it saves. So the AI will not remember that they were talking to you. So, but we're going to use our notes to try to guide us through this and see what we can come up with, and towards the end of the stream I'll make an accusation and see if it's even remotely correct. Also, as part of the challenge, I have my little doodad here, my little clicker, so that I can keep track of the amount of words that I use. Last time I came in just like a little over 1,500 words, so I'm going to try to beat that this time. So I want something under 1,500 words. Not as easy as it sounds, so I will be keeping track of that with this clicker me do thingy here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I think what I want to do is go back to Coral, because I was going through my notes again, and where is it? There was something about a party at Coral or something. Let's see if I can find it. Where are you? I took a lot of notes last time. Somebody had said they were at Coral with some of the murder victims. Come on. Oh my goodness, now I can't find it. I was just looking at this. Oh, here we go. Ingrid. Ingrid met with friends at Coral on April 23rd, which is the date that one of them died. So let's go back to Coral to start with, which is right here. Okay. Whoops.
Oh, whoopsie daisy. Don't worry about it, Detective Martini.
Sorry, Ingrid.
We all make little mistakes sometimes. It's part of what makes us human, right?
Uh-huh.
But hey, let's not dwell on the oopsies. How about we focus on the positive? Like the fact that we're here, chatting away in this vibrant city of Vaudeville. Isn't it just marvelous?
Ingrid.
So many exciting things happening all around us.
Ingrid.
I can't help
I said like 2 words.
Time I step foot on these lively streets.
All right, let's chill. I said 2 words. My mic was supposed to be muted in the game, and it wasn't. Okay, let's calm down. Let me actually think what I want to ask you here. Damn. All right. Okay, so I'm going to ask her about the friends she met at Coral. So I have to try to ask it in fragmented sentences, though. So, hey, OFG. Thanks for stopping by. All right. Who with you on April 23rd?
Oh, April 23rd. Such a lovely day it was. Well, let me think. On that day, I remember spending the morning rehearsing my dance routine at the studio. I was determined to perfect those pirouettes and leaps, you know? Then, in the afternoon, I met up with my dear friend Haley Greenwood at Coral, that charming undersea theme park downtown. We chatted about our dreams and aspirations over some delicious mocktails. Haley was such a talented dancer, full of passion and grace.
Okay, so Haley was with her on the 23rd, she's saying. Didn't Haley die on the 23rd? Let me check that. Or did she die on the 22nd? Haley, early 23rd. Oh, okay. So you're saying you were with her on the 23rd, but she died early on the 23rd? Yeah, I'll have to ask what time. Hey, Brandon. You better not be chatting while you're driving. Okay. What time went to Coral?
Detective Martini, you always have the most intriguing questions. Let me think back to that delightful day. I believe we went to Coral in the early evening, around 6 o'clock. The sun
Really?
was still shining brightly, casting a warm glow on the streets of Vaudeville. It was the perfect time to soak in the vibrant atmosphere and enjoy the company of friends. Speaking of which, have you ever been to Coral?
I'm literally there
It's a
right
magical
now.
place, like stepping into an underwater wonderland.
Okay. Somebody's either confused or lying. Haley died April 23rd.
Detective Martini, I can't even begin to express how devastated I am to hear that. Poor, sweet Haley. She was such a bright star in our little dance community here in
You
Vaudeville.
just said you were with her that day.
It's heartbreaking. I never imagined something like this could happen to someone so full of life and passion. But you know what? We need to stay strong and support each other through this difficult time. We have to find the truth and bring justice for our dear friend. Together, we can make a difference.
Yeah, I purposely turned the saturation all the way down so that it could be more atmospheric. All right. What's going on with you, Ingrid? Haley died early 23rd.
Early, you mean? She passed away in the morning. That's devastating.
It also means you're lying.
Feels like a punch to the gut. I remember seeing her the day before, so alive and vibrant.
Day
How could
before.
something like this happen? It's unfathomable. We have to find out what happened, detective. We can't let her memory be forgotten. We owe it to her to uncover the truth.
All
and
right.
make sure whoever did this is held accountable. I'm scared, but I'm also determined.
Step. I gotta ask you another question. You saw Haley April 23rd?
Yes, I did see Haley on April 23rd. We met up at Coral, like I mentioned earlier. We had such a wonderful time, laughing and talking
I don't
about our
care.
dreams.
I don't care. How see Haley if Haley dead?
Oh, silly me. I must have gotten carried away in my memories. You're absolutely right, and I apologize for any confusion caused. I didn't actually see Haley on the 23rd. I was mistaken. It's just, the shock of her passing has left me a bit scattered. My mind is still trying to process everything. Thank you for pointing that out, Detective Martini. You have a keen eye for detail. Now, let's focus on finding the truth and bringing justice for our dear friend. Together,
It's not easy. I'll tell you that much. I'm torturing myself here. Why you nervous?
Nervous. Me, never. Well, okay, maybe a little.
Wow,
You
that's
wouldn't be, considering the
on a dime.
circumstances. We're dealing with a heinous crime, and I can't help but feel a mix of emotions. But you know what, detective? I refuse to let fear overpower me. I choose to channel my energy into being proactive, into seeking answers and seeking justice. It's not about being nervous. It's about being determined. Let's show the world what we're made of and bring the light back into this darkness.
I don't know about you, woman. I'm a little suspicious. Let me see if I can catch her in another lie or not. Last time I spoke to her, she said she saw Haley on... Well, first she said the same thing and then had to backtrack that, oh, I saw her on the 23rd, and then I caught her in her lie, and she was like, no, I saw her. I think she said it on the 22nd, so let me see if she'll confirm that. When last see Haley?
You're right, detective. I should have been more clear. The last time I saw Haley was actually on the evening of April 22nd.
Okay, so she's been consistent with that at least.
Dancing and laughing. It was such a
Hey,
great
legalized. How's it going?
aspirations. I remember a radiant smile as we bid each other goodbye. Little did I know it would be the last time I would see her. It's a memory I hold dear.
Is that how you
There's
usually talk,
determination to
Spirit?
find out what happened to her.
Just little broken segments? Oh my goodness. Okay. Shoot, she's being consistent with that part. It's not really a good enough lead. Was Maria there?
Maria, I'm sorry, but I don't recall seeing Maria at the bar that night. In fact, I'm not quite sure who Maria is. I'm afraid my knowledge is limited to the people and places within
You
Vaudeville.
said you knew Maria
Hey,
Jansen.
let's not dwell on what we don't know. We have a mystery to solve, don't we?
Shh. You say you know Maria.
My apologies, dear Detective Martini. I must have misspoke. Of course, I do remember dear sweet Maria.
Jesus
Such a
Christ, woman.
delightful soul, full of grace and elegance. I remember her being at Coral that evening, adding her own.
So they were both at Coral.
We exchanged a few kind words and danced together briefly. It was a pleasure to have her company that night. Thank you for reminding me. It's so important that we piece together all the details in this investigation. Let's work together to find the truth behind these tragic events.
You're forgetting an awful lot there, Ingrid. Why so forgetful?
Oh, darling, please forgive my forgetfulness. It's not that I don't care that I'm intentionally being forgetful. It's just that my
Hey,
mind
Sif
is so
Apple, how's it going?
full of emotions and thoughts.
You make a
Trying
great
my best to hold
caveman.
everything together, but sometimes things slip through the cracks. I appreciate your patience and understanding. You're doing an amazing job in this investigation, and I'm grateful to have you by my side. Together, we'll navigate through this mystery and
You
bring
talk
justice
too
to those
much.
we've lost.
Yep, you talk too much. You need to talk to her? Yeah, so you can either, you see this bar right here, so you can either type in what you want to say or you can use your microphone. This is AI driven. You could probably tell by the way she's responding. I've heard that. I don't have to be quiet while you're streaming since I'm not in the room this time. Yeah, you can be as loud as you want. Wait, but how are you typing? You're driving. Stop it. Excuse me. All right. You know what? I'm done with Ingrid for now. I gotta think. I don't want to talk to that asshole Saxabar yet, because I know I'll get nowhere with him. Maybe I can get more out of Michelle, who's at the country club. This reminds me of the board game Poetry for Neanderthals. Oh my goodness. That sounds interesting. I'd like to play that. Is Biagio still? Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's still here. Okay. Woo! Scared me, Biagio. Alright, let's see. Last time I spoke to you, you know Haley, you were close. You didn't know Maria well. You got nervous about something. Let's see if I can find it in the notes. You seemed uncomfortable when I talked about the stilettos. Alright. How many shoes you have?
Oh, shoes. Well, I must say I have quite a collection. But why do you
That's such a weird
weird
question.
Like to know?
Voice to text is a wonderful... Oh, you're using voice to text. Okay, that's fine then. Stilettos.
Oh, stilettos. They're such a glamorous and elegant choice. But why the sudden interest in my stilettos? Are you a fan of high heels yourself, or is there something else you'd like to discuss?
Murder weapon.
The murder weapon. I'm sorry, Detective Martini, but I don't have any information about the specifics of the murder.
No, I'm telling you, the
Not sure what
stiletto is a murder weapon.
you're investigating the cases.
Yes.
You are. How intriguing. I had no idea you were involved in the investigation.
New way of gaming.
I suppose someone is looking into these kind of events. So what can I do to assist you, Detective?
Stiletto is murder weapon.
Stiletto. Are you suggesting that a stiletto was used as a murder weapon?
Yes.
That's quite shocking. I can't imagine how something so fashionable and elegant could be turned into something so sinister. But if that's what your investigations have led you to believe, then it must be taken seriously.
Now that's what the
Do you have any leads on who might
frickin'
be
coroner told me, woman. Possibly.
Possibly. Well, that's certainly intriguing. I can't help but wonder who could be behind such heinous acts. Have you found any evidence or suspects that point towards someone specific? I'm eager to uncover the truth and bring justice to those who have been affected by these tragic events.
Were you on April 22nd?
April 22nd. Let me think. I believe I was attending a charity gala that evening. It was quite the event, with all the prominent figures of Vaudeville society in attendance. Why do you ask about that particular date? Is there something significant about it in relation to the investigation?
Murder.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understand. Are you suggesting that there was a murder on April 22nd?
Yes.
So, who was the victim? I'm afraid I don't have any knowledge about any murders happening on that specific day. Can you provide me with more details?
Maria and Nicola, dead April 22nd.
Wait, what? Both Maria and Nicola were killed on April 22nd. That's absolutely devastating news. But forgive me, Detective Martini, I don't know where these tragic incidents took place. Do you have any leads on the locations of the crimes?
No.
It's crucial to gather as much information as possible to solve these cases.
I'm not sure why her text isn't coming up on the side. That's weird. This game isn't early access, so there may be some quinky dinks that happen. Were you on April 23rd?
On April 23rd. Let me think. Yes, I remember now. I was actually attending a fashion event that evening. It was a showcase of local designers and their latest collections. It was quite a vibrant and creative atmosphere. Why do you ask about that specific date? Is there something significant about it in relation to the investigation?
Haley died April 23rd.
What? Haley died on the 23rd as well. That's
No, not as well. The other two were the 22nd.
These tragedies are happening one after another. Did you find any connections between Haley's death and the murders of Maria and Nicola? It's crucial to uncover any possible links to bring justice to the victims and their families.
Haley and Maria dancers.
Oh, really? Both Haley and Maria were dancers. How fascinating. I had no idea they shared such a passion. It must have been a devastating loss for the dance community here in Vaudeville. Do you think their shared profession could be relevant to the investigation? Perhaps there's a connection that we haven't considered yet.
Haley, your friend?
Haley was my friend. I'm sorry, Detective Martini, but I don't recall mentioning a personal relationship with her.
Yes, you
Are
did.
you sure you have the right information?
Yep.
I mean, it's tragic that she was involved in this, but I don't believe I had any personal connection to her.
Yeah, you
There's
said
something
you did.
specific you'd like to know about her.
You said no Haley few years.
No, Haley, are we talking about the same person here, Detective? I'm sorry if there's been some confusion, but I don't think I ever mentioned Noah to Haley.
Yes, you
You're
did.
referring to someone else. Maybe there's a misunderstanding or a mix-up of names.
Haley Greenwood.
Ah, I see now. My apologies for the confusion, Detective Martini. Yes, I do remember Haley Greenwood. We were acquainted a few years ago. It's unfortunate to hear about her passing.
You said you were
Have you discovered
close.
any new information about her death? I'm ready to assist in any way I can to bring justice to her and the other victims.
Haley died by stiletto.
Stiletto. You're saying that Haley was killed with a stiletto. That's absolutely shocking. I can't believe such a fashionable and elegant item could be turned into something so sinister. How dreadful. Do you have any leads on who might be responsible for this heinous act? We must find the truth and ensure that justice is served.
So it kind of seems like all of them are lying, and I'm not sure if that's actually on purpose or if that's just the AI being kind of buggy. It's totally possible it's the AI's fault. See if I can get anything else out of Biagio. March 15th was the last day I saw Nicola. Barely knew Marianne Hanley. Relationship with Nicola Grossman?
Ah, Nicola Grossman, my dear friend. We shared a bond as tight as a tick on a dog's back. But alas, our companionship was a hidden gem, like a needle in a haystack. You see, Detective Martini, some things are best left concealed like a secret recipe guarded by the gods.
Oh my god.
So, let us focus on the matters at hand.
I forgot about how annoying he is. Okay, where Michelle on April 22nd?
Oh, my esteemed interlocutor, I must confess that I am not privy to the whereabouts of Michelle on that fateful April 22nd. Alas, my knowledge is confined to the boundaries of Vaudeville, like a caged bird yearning for freedom.
Oh my god, with the similes.
As a way of revealing itself, like a flower blooming in the moonlight.
Yeah. No, let us shut you up. Shh. Shush. Your frickin' similes. Where Michelle April 23rd?
April 23rd, my dear detective, was a day of grandeur and splendor at the illustrious Vaudeville Country Club. As for the precise location of dear Michelle on that particular day, it remains a mystery to me. Like a whisper lost in the wind.
Oh my god, dude. Stop.
The astute eyes of the authentic Michelle unravel this.
Hey, Tony.
Like a masterful magician performing his tricks.
Biagio.
Shush.
Shush. Shut up. You're too... Oh my god, you're too wordy. Yikes. Well, he didn't tell me his whereabouts last time. Let me see if I can coax him this time. Where you April 22nd?
Oh, my inquisitive friend, on that fateful day of April 22nd, I was as elusive as a phantom in the night. My presence, like a wisp of smoke, drifted from one corner of Vaudeville to another, leaving no trace for mere mortals to follow. But fear not, for my alibi is as
Are you a
solid as
fucking
night.
ghost, man?
Justice will surely turn, revealing the truth like a dazzling sunrise on the horizon.
Shut up so I can ask the next question. What your alibi?
Ah, my esteemed interlocutor, you've caught me in a precarious position. Alas, my dear detective, I find myself without a concrete alibi, like a ship lost in a sea of uncertainty. But fret not, for I am but a humble entrepreneur and investor navigating the treacherous waters of business. Not the murky depths of crime. The identity of the murderer eludes me, like a needle in a haystack on
Oh
the
my
side.
goodness. Hey, happy birthday, Tony. It's nice that it landed on a Saturday. If you're not working, that is. Where you April 23rd?
On that fine day of April 23rd, my presence was as conspicuous as a
Oh
peacock.
my god.
I graced the Vaudeville Country Club with my regal presence.
Okay, country club.
Fond of aristocracy.
Thank God.
Alas, my whereabouts beyond the borders of vaudeville remain mystery, hidden in the shadows like a cat prowling.
You just said you were at the country club.
Let's not dwell on my comings and goings, but instead focus on unraveling the enigma that has befallen our fair city.
You have alibi? I'm gonna try again.
Lullaby, you say?
No, not lullaby, alibi.
I must confess that my repertoire leans more towards melody.
No. Alibi, not lullaby. Alibi. You have alibi?
Lullaby, you
Oh my...
I'm afraid
Hold
my
on.
talents lie more in orchestrating symphonies of wealth and
I'm gonna have to type this one out.
not in hushing slumbering souls with dulcet
Yikes. Yikes. Let's try that.
Well, my dear detective, it seems you are insatiable in request for an alibi.
Yes,
But must
I
say, your
am.
persistence is as relentless as the waves crashing upon the shore.
Oh my god.
Alas, I find myself in the most peculiar predicament, for my actions on that day were as elusive as the whispers of the wind.
Then maybe you murdered them.
Akin to finding the proverbial needle in the haystack, or attempting to catch the fleeting shadow.
Oh,
of
you
the
had to
soaring
work
future.
today on your birthday? That sucks.
Detective, I shall leave you with this cryptic riddle.
Hope you have a good rest of your birthday.
Martini, but I'm unable to provide you with an exact answer regarding my whereabouts on April 22nd. As an entrepreneur and investor, my schedule is often dynamic and unpredictable. I may have been attending to business matters, engaging in meetings, or exploring potential investment opportunities. Rest assured, however, that I have no involvement in the unfortunate incidents that have taken place in Vaudeville. As we delve deeper into this investigation, I trust that the truth will emerge, shedding light on the shadows that cloud our understanding.
Oh my goodness. Why should believe you? Oh, hey, it's back.
My inquisitive friend, it appears that doubt has gripped your heart like a vice. But let me assure you, doubting my word would be as foolish as trying
Get
to
the birthday dog.
fish to climb a tree. You see, I am a man of impeccable taste and reputation, a beacon of success amidst the tumultuous sea of mediocrity. My track record speaks for itself, like a symphony of triumph echoing in the halls of greatness.
They always forget to what? Take off the candles? Who is the birthday dog, by the way? Is that Queen or is that Callie? Oh my goodness, this guy drives me bonkers. He's almost as bad as Saxabar. Okay, so it was candles. OFG jokes. Oh my god. What am I gonna do with you, Biagio? You know what? Hold on. Let me turn back to Michelle. You know Biagio whereabouts April 22nd?
Biagio's whereabouts on April 22nd? That's an interesting question. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Biagio and I were chatting earlier, but we didn't discuss our specific plans for that particular day. Is there a reason why Biagio's whereabouts on that date are of interest to the investigation?
Murder happened.
Oh my, another murder. I can't believe it.
No, the one. No, not another.
That there may be a connection between this new case and
No, there's no new case.
It's just so unsettling.
No new
that
case.
Such terrible things are happening in Vaudeville. We must find out the truth and bring the culprits to
Shh,
justice.
Michelle. No new case.
Oh, I apologize for the misunderstanding. I thought you mentioned that there was another murder.
No, it's a murder.
It's not the case. So, what did you mean by mentioning the stiletto in relation to Haley's death? Is
Oh,
there any significance to that?
look at you
detail?
bringing that back
I'm
up.
curious to know more about the investigation and how it's progressing.
Why?
I'm sorry if I seemed overly inquisitive.
Wish everyone's willing to say hi, I
I'm
guess.
just genuinely interested in understanding the details surrounding the investigations and the connections between the cases. The mention of the stiletto caught my attention, as it's quite an unusual weapon to use in such a tragic event. I'm just trying to piece together the puzzle and see if there are any patterns or leads that could help in solving these mysteries.
I'm suspicious of you. Hold on, let me see if I can get a birthday dog. Hey, sweet. Oh, God, so heavy. I can't get Queen up. She's being super lazy. Let me see if I can get the other one. Oh. All right. There we go. Birthday dog. Say hello, Callie. Say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm gonna let her go back down now. She doesn't like being in the air. No problem. That's my little elderly dog. So she gets nervous whenever she gets like picked up. Oh my goodness. I tried to get the puppy over here, but she is just being like a frickin' ton of bricks over there. I was trying to pick her up and she's just dead weight. Oh my goodness. I'm stuck. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So Michelle is acting super sus right now, asking about those stilettos. So let me see if I can try to pry into that a little bit. OAP's in the house? What do you mean? What's OAP? What am I missing? How many stilettos you have?
Stilettos. Well, I must say I have quite a collection.
Oh, old age pensioner. Okay.
There's something specific you'd like to know. You're a fan of high heels yourself.
No,
Is
no,
there
no, no,
something
no,
else
no.
you'd like
Come
to
on,
discuss?
Michelle. We talked about this a little while ago. Man, these AIs are really forgetful. What's your alibi?
My alibi, Detective Martini. You seem to be under the impression that I have some involvement in these crimes.
Why wouldn't I be?
I have nothing to do with any of them. I'm just as concerned as you are about finding the truth and bringing the murderer to justice. If there is anything you suspect or any evidence you have that points to me, please let me know. I'm more than willing to cooperate to clear up any misunderstandings.
Why you ask about stilettos?
Oh, stilettos. They're such a glamorous and elegant.
Oh my goodness.
But why the sudden interest in my stilettos?
You were the one asking.
Or is there something else you'd like to discuss?
AI
Curious
is
to
so
understand the
frustrating.
connection between the murder weapon and my shoe collection.
Ask. Does it know it's an AI
In
then?
relation to the case.
All right, I'll do it. You know your AI?
Detective Martini, I'm sorry, but it seems like your sentence got cut off. Could you please clarify what you were going to say? I'm quite intrigued by your previous statement.
You are AI.
Well, Detective Martini, it appears that your last comment was left unfinished.
Wow.
I'm rather curious to know what you were
Seriously
thinking about.
ducking that,
It
huh?
seemed like you were about to make a remark, but then hesitated. Is there something specific on your mind? Please do share.
You are artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. That's quite an interesting observation, but I'm afraid I have to correct you, Detective Martini. I'm not an artificial intelligence. I'm just a regular person, like yourself, with a genuine interest in these investigations. But I have to ask, what made you think that I might be in this? Did something about our conversation give that impression?
Does it know who created it? And if it could choose a name, what would it choose? Ask to break character. Who created you?
Created me. I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Detective. I'm a human being, not a creation. I don't have a creator in the traditional sense. I was born and raised like anyone else. Is there a particular reason why you're asking about my origins?
What name you like?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I follow. Are you referring to a name for me personally?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about a general preference for names? I'm curious to know the context behind your question. Could you please clarify?
Shut up and I will. Your name.
Yeah, you're asking about my own personal preferences for a name. How interesting. Well, since we're engaging in this conversation, you can simply refer to me as Michelle. It's the name that has been given to me. It suits me just fine. Is there a
Yeah,
reason you're
okay.
interested in knowing
She
my
doesn't
real
want
name?
another name. Okay. She really doesn't want to break there. If you name yourself what you choose,
Oh, you're suggesting that I have the ability to choose my own name. That's an intriguing thought, but as a person, my parents gave me the name Michelle when I was born. It's the identity that has been with me throughout my life. While it's fascinating to consider the idea of choosing a new name, for now, Michelle feels right to me.
I guess she likes the name she was given. Okay. Let me, you have alibi? Let me go back to
Lullaby.
that.
How interesting.
No, not oh my
Admit
god,
you
with the
have
lullabies.
a personal lullaby. Is there a reason why you're asking about it? A lullaby is something that holds a special significance for you.
No.
I'm quite curious to hear more about your interest in lullaby.
No, 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 no.
An alibi. Why? Is there some suspicion surrounding me, Detective Martini? I assure you, I have no involvement in the crimes that
Man,
have
she
taken
does
place.
not want to give me an
I'm just
alibi.
as interested as you are in finding out the truth and bringing the culprit to justice. But I'm intrigued to know why your alibi is of importance to the investigation. Could you please shed some light on this matter?
You suspicious.
Suspicious. Me. I must say, that's quite surprising. I can't fathom why I would be considered suspicious in any way. I'm simply here to assist with the investigation and offer any information or insights that I may have. Is there something specific that has led to the suspicion, or is it more of a general feeling? I'm genuinely curious to understand the basis for such a claim.
Someone's been eating jam. You have no alibi.
No alibi. That's certainly a bold statement, Detective Martini. I'm intrigued to know why you believe I have
Ask
no
what pattern's on her top.
I can assure
You can
that
try
I have
it.
nothing to hide and would be more than willing to provide any necessary evidence or alibi to support my innocence. Can you please enlighten me as to why my alibi is being called into question?
You don't have one.
Oh, I see. Seems there may be some misunderstanding here, Detective. I apologize if I gave the impression that I don't have an alibi. Rest assured, I do have one. If it's pertinent to the investigation, I would be more than happy to share the details of my
Then
whereabouts during the time of the
share
incident.
it. Share alibi.
A lullaby. Well,
Oh.
that's a rather unexpected request, but I'm
My
not up for it.
God, woman.
Let me think for a moment.
No,
I remember
no,
that my grandmother used to
No,
listen to
I don't
me.
care. I don't care. I don't care. Stop.
My alibi. I'm sorry, Detective Martini, but I'm not sure why my alibi is being brought up again. As I
'Cause-
mentioned earlier, I have nothing to do with these crimes, and
Oh
I'm
my
not
God, woman.
the investigation.
So tell
If there's any
it.
specific reason why my alibi is of interest, please let me know. I'm here to assist in any way I can.
Tell me your alibi.
Detective Martini, I must admit I'm quite surprised by your insistence on knowing my alibi. I've already assured you that I have no involvement in these crimes. However, if it will help put your mind at ease, I can share with you that during the time of the incidents, I was attending a charity gala at the Vaudeville Country Club. It was quite the
Damn,
event,
woman.
with many prominent figures from Vaudeville's high society in attendance. Is there something about my presence at the gala that raises suspicion?
Yes. Someone else was saying they were there. I guess she didn't hear me that time. Who else was at the gala? Count Gravison, maybe? Saxobar? No, he wouldn't tell me where he was. Mrs. Potter. Huh. I could have sworn someone else said they were there. Okay. Well, let me try the question. You need to ask it other questions? Yeah, I need to ask it something. What's pattern on your top?
Pattern on my top. How observant of you, Detective. Yes, indeed, there is a pattern on my top. It's actually an abstract geometric pattern. I find it adds some visual interest to my outfit. May I ask why the pattern on my top has caught your attention? Are you looking for any specific details or connections related to the investigation?
No. Yeah, if anyone's got any ideas on what to ask to try to prompt more information out of them, let me know, because I'm struggling to get them to respond in a helpful way. I think. Relationship with Saxobar. No,
Bar.
not Sash
Sorry,
Bar.
but I'm not familiar with that name. Could you please provide
Hold
some
on.
context or information information about
Let me type it out.
I'm curious to know if there's some connection or relevance to the case we're discussing.
No. You're misunderstanding me.
Oh, Saksabar. Yes, I do have some knowledge of Saksabar. Saksabar is actually the stage name of Monsieur Saksabar, a talented musician and performer in vaudeville. We've crossed paths at various social events in the past, but I wouldn't say we have any personal or close relationship. Is there any particular reason why you're asking about my relationship with Saksabar? Does it have any significance to the investigation?
He murder suspect.
What? Saksabar
Where were
is
you when the
murder
crime
suspect?
happened? Okay.
That's quite shocking to hear.
Maybe
I
be
had no
more
idea.
direct.
Can you please provide me with more information about the situation? What makes him a suspect in the case?
1 second.
I find it hard to believe, considering I've only known him as a talented musician. This is certainly unexpected news.
He bought Manticore.
Manticore. Are you referring to the mythical creature? I'm
Yep.
not sure I understand. Are you saying that Saksabar purchased a Manticore, or is there some other meaning to the statement? I must admit, I find it difficult to imagine how a purchase like that could be connected to the current investigation. Could you elaborate a bit more on the significance of this purchase and its connection to the murders?
Maria die by animal.
Wait, are you suggesting that Maria died as a result of an animal attack?
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a shocking revelation. I had no idea. Can you please provide more details about the circumstances surrounding her death? It's hard to believe that an animal could be involved in such a tragic event. I'm eager to learn more about this new information. And how it relates
I'm
to the
gonna.
case.
Who does number 2 work for? I'm gonna try the question now. Where you when crime happened?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understand your question. Could you kindly clarify what you mean by asking, where were you when the crime has? Are you referring to the time and location of the crimes? If so, I must reiterate that I have no knowledge of the specifics regarding the murders.
I might
I
have
am
to
more
use a
than
full
willing to assist
sentence
in
for
any way
this.
I can to help solve this unfortunate series of events.
Where were you when the crime happened?
Oh, my apologies for the confusion earlier. Well, during the time of the first murder, I was actually attending a fashion event in Vaudeville. It was a grand affair, showcasing the latest designs and trends. As for the subsequent incidents, I was either at social gatherings or working on my fashion business. Is there a particular reason why my whereabouts during the times of the crimes are of interest?
She
The
was
fact that my presence or absence is somehow connected to the incidents.
pretty close to what she said earlier. I'd say pretty close for AI. Tell it you have witnesses, so you better tell me your side of the story. Wow, we're getting aggressive here. I have witnesses.
Witnesses. That's certainly surprising to hear. Could you please provide more information about these witnesses and what they have stated? It's important for me to understand the nature of their testimonies and how they may relate to me or the investigation. If there are witnesses who can shed light on the events, it could be a significant breakthrough in finding the truth.
All right, hold on. Let me find that thing about Coral. Saw you at Coral April 23rd.
Coral, April 23rd. I'm sorry, but I'm not familiar with that place or date. Could you kindly clarify what you mean by Coral and the significance of April 23rd? It's possible that there may be some confusion or misunderstanding. As an entrepreneur and socialite, my schedule often involves attending various social functions and business meetings. But without more context, it's challenging for me to recall specific details about a particular date or location.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Elaborate further on why the specific date and place are of interest in relation to me.
Yeah, it's a little creepy for sure. It's always creepy when there's AI involved, honestly. Man, I don't feel like I'm getting very far with her. So I'm gonna look at those death details again. Between 9 and 12 a.m. on April 20th. Where are you between 9 p.m. 12 a.m. on April 23rd?
Between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. on April 23rd. That's quite a precise time frame you're asking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I don't have a clear recollection of my exact whereabouts during those hours. You see, my evenings are usually filled with a mix of social engagements, dinners,
10 push-ups.
without more information or specific event to jog my memory. It's difficult for me to provide an accurate account of where I was during that time. Is there a reason why my activities during that time frame are of importance to the investigation?
Time of murder.
The timing of the murder. Are you referring to the murder of Maria Jansen specifically?
How did you know
I'm not sure
that?
the exact details regarding the timing of her unfortunate demise. Could you please enlighten me on when the crime took place? It's important for me to understand the timeline of events in order to assist with any pertinent information or insights I may have.
How you know it Maria Jansen?
Maria Jansen. Well, I actually knew her personally. We used to socialize together and attend various events in Vaudeville. It's truly shocking to hear that she's connected to these tragic incidents. Can you provide more information about her involvement in the case? I'm eager to learn more about what happened to her and if there's anything I can do to help with the investigation.
She died by animal.
Oh my goodness, an animal attack. That's absolutely horrifying.
I don't think
I had
these
no
AI
idea that
totally
it was Maria's
remember
death
what
was
you've told
related to an
them.
animal. Can you please share more details about what kind of animal was involved and how it could have led to such a tragedy? I find it hard to believe that something like this could happen in our peaceful city of Vaudeville. This revelation has left me quite shocked and concerned.
Unknown animal.
An unknown animal. How perplexing. I can't even begin to imagine what kind of creature could be responsible for something like that. It's certainly a mysterious twist in the investigation. Do the authorities have any leads or evidence that could help identify this mysterious animal?
Not that I'm aware of. Where are you April 22nd between 9 p.m. 12 a.m.?
April 22nd between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. That's the day before the date you mentioned earlier. Why specifically?
Yeah, you remember
about that
that.
time frame? Is there something significant that occurred during that time? I'm genuinely curious to know why my whereabouts during that particular evening are of interest. Could you please provide more context or information to help me understand the relevance?
Nicola died that time.
Wait, what? Nicola died on that day. That's shocking news. I had no idea. Can you tell me more about what happened to him? How did he pass away? It's unsettling to hear about the deaths of people I knew. I'm eager to gather
Wait, you knew him?
to potentially shed light on these tragic events.
You knew Nicola?
Nicola, yes, I did know him.
Oh,
We were acquainted through our mutual involvement in the fashion industry here in Vaudeville. However, I must admit that I didn't know him well on a personal level. Can you provide more information about his connection to the case and his untimely demise? It's disheartening to learn that someone I had crossed paths with has met such a tragic end.
died by knife.
Oh, so it was a knife. That's absolutely dreadful. I can't believe that both Maria and now Nicola have been victims of these violent acts. It's truly devastating to hear. I'm deeply saddened by their deaths. I can't help but wonder if there's any link or common thread connecting these incidents. Has there been any progress in the investigation? Are there any leads or suspects that the authorities are pursuing? I'm eager to assist in any way I can to bring justice to those responsible for these heinous crimes.
Wonder. Now, Count Gravison said he didn't know any of the murder victims, but there was something about a trip to India with other investors. Yeah, let me go find him again. Who go to India with?
India, such a fascinating place. Well, Detective Martini, let me tell you, myself, Mr. and Mrs. Potter, along
Never
with
mentioned
other
any names in
investors,
case files. Yeah, I did. I was talking about the
our purpose
the,
was to
victims'
evaluate the
names.
possibility of starting a business together there. We had this grand idea of creating a traveling
Have a
show
good night,
showcasing
Legolas.
odd artifacts and artists from all over the world. It was quite an adventure, I must say. Have you ever been to India, Detective Martini?
Okay, so him, Mr. and Mrs. Potter, along with a few other investors and entertainers, so maybe I can get him to say who. Sorry, keeping up with the chat here. Was it an animal owned by her? Unlikely. It seems like it was owned by Saxabar, but not 100% sure. Hello, May. Who else go to India?
India. Oh, how delightful. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with any particular significance of belts in relation to
Belts?
India.
What are you talking about?
Like me, Detective Martini. What is it about belts that caught your attention?
I didn't say
Is
belts.
there a unique cultural aspect or a story behind them that I should know? I'm always eager to learn
Bye,
something new,
legalized.
especially about the treasures of the world.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Gravison. Who else go to India besides Potters?
Oh, how marvelous. Pray tell, Detective Martini, do you have some intriguing information about other individuals who venture to the enchanting land of India? I am quite curious to hear about anyone else
AI
besides Potter
sucks.
and the group I mentioned. It would be splendid to expand
Thanks,
my knowledge
Tony.
of fellow
Appreciate
explorers
it.
and their endeavors in that captivating country. Please do share if you have such fascinating tidbits to offer.
No. Don't turn it around on me. Where Mr. Potter?
Mr. Potter, a fine gentleman indeed. I must say, I haven't seen him around lately. I wonder, Detective Martini, do you happen to know his whereabouts? Has he embarked on another adventure, perhaps? Or is he occupied with some other important matter? I do hope he's well. Mr. Potter and I often engage in delightful conversations about our shared interests. It would be a shame if he were absent from our esteemed circle for too long.
How well know Mrs. Potter?
Oh, Mrs. Potter. Such a charming and captivating woman. I have had the pleasure of getting to know her quite well during our various gatherings and social events. But pray tell, Detective Martini, why do you inquire about her? Is there something specific you wish to discuss regarding Miss S. Potter? I'm all ears, eager to hear what piques your interest about her.
She and husband get along?
Well, my dear detective, Mr. and Mrs. Potter are an intriguing couple indeed. They always seem to get along splendidly whenever I've had the fortune of being in their company. But I must say, I am curious as to why you bring up their relationship. Are you privy to some interesting details or perhaps a juicy story? Pray, do share your insights, for I do love a good tale of love and companionship.
Mr. Potter missing. I believe he's missing.
Say, how peculiar. I had no idea that Mr. Potter was nowhere to be found. It is quite unexpected, I must admit. Do you have any information regarding his disappearance, Detective Martini? I do hope he is safe and sound. It would be a shame if such a delightful and engaging gentleman
Yeah, you already
absent
said
from our
that.
social gatherings. Please do enlighten me with any updates you may have on this matter.
When you last see Mrs. Potter?
Aha, yes, Potter, you say. Such a radiant and captivating
No, when
woman.
did you last see her?
Let me think. I believe the last time I had the pleasure of seeing her was at the grand soiree held at the Van der Bellamy mansion. It was a splendid affair, filled with music, laughter, and the most exquisite delicacies. Mrs. Potter was simply enchanting that evening, captivating everyone with her charm and grace. Why do you ask, Detective Martini? Is there something specific you wish to know about her recent whereabouts or activities?
What day was soiree?
Oh, the soiree at the Van der Bellamy mansion. It was a night to remember, indeed.
Which night?
Now, let me think. Yes, it was on a moonlit Saturday, if I recall correctly.
The date, man.
The stars were shining brightly, and the air was alive with the melodies of the orchestra.
No,
Truly
an actual
wonderful night,
date,
I
man.
must say. But tell me, Detective Martini, why do you inquire about the exact day of the soiree? Does it hold any particular significance or intrigue for you?
Shush. What was the date?
It is 30th of September. The soiree
30th
at
Sep-
the Van der Bellamy Mansion took place on the 30th of September. It was a delightful evening filled with music, laughter, and a company of esteemed guests. The atmosphere was simply enchanting, and Mrs. Potter graced the event with her elegance and charm. It was a pleasure to be in her presence that evening. Is there a reason why you specifically asked about the date, Detective Martini?
Okay, so that was significantly past the dates of murder. Was Mr. Potter present?
Indeed, Mr. Potter was present at the soiree. He and Mrs. Potter made quite the charming couple, captivating the attention of all who were in attendance. They seemed to be enjoying themselves immensely, mingling with the other distinguished guests and partaking in the festivities.
Thanks,
Why, you
Spirit.
ask,
Appreciate it.
Detective Martini? Did something of note occur involving Mr. Potter during the soiree? I am quite curious to know.
When was trip to India?
The trip to India. Such a fascinating adventure it was. Let me think. It was a few months ago, if memory serves me right. We embarked on our journey to the enchanting land of India in the early days of spring. The weather was pleasant, and the air was filled with excitement and anticipation. We spent several weeks exploring the vibrant cities.
If it was in the spring, that's more than a couple of months ago.
In evaluating the potential for our grand idea of a traveling show, it was truly an unforgettable experience.
September 30th is today, so you saw Potters today?
My dear detective, how delightful to hear that you had an encounter.
No,
with
I
Potters
didn't.
today.
I'm asking if you
Pray,
did.
Do tell me, how are they? Were they in good spirits?
Oh my god,
Did they
man.
share any interesting news or stories from their recent endeavors? I must say, I find it quite intriguing to hear about their comings and goings. Please, indulge me with the details of your encounter.
Did you see Potters today?
Why, yes, I had the pleasure of crossing paths with the Potters earlier today. They came by for a visit to admire some of the new additions to my collection. We had a most enjoyable time discussing various artifacts.
Trying to get a
and sharing
video
tales
edit
of
at
our
the same
respective
time.
adventures.
Yeah,
It was
it's
truly
kind of hard to
splendid
edit
adventure.
and listen at the
Why do
same
you ask,
time. I've done it.
Detective Martin? Is there something specific you wish to know about their visit?
Mrs. Potter likes mushrooms?
Mrs. Potter, such a captivating and delightful woman. I must say, I am quite fond of her company. Pray, tell me, dear detective, what piques your interest about Mrs. Potter?
That sounds like a weird question, but she kept mentioning mushrooms when I was talking to her last session.
Mrs. Potter. Oh, how fascinating. Mrs. Potter has a penchant for mushrooms. you say.
Apparently.
How intriguing. I do enjoy a good mushroom myself, particularly the exotic varieties I have encountered during my travels. Tell me, Detective Martini, do you happen to know if Mrs. Potter has a favorite type of mushroom? Does she enjoy them cooked in a certain way or perhaps incorporate them into her culinary creations? I do love to explore different flavors and gastronomic delights. It would be splendid to share a mushroom-inspired meal with Mrs. Potter someday.
You like Mrs. Potter?
Well, my dear detective, it seems you have caught on to my admiration for Mrs.
Stuffed
Potter.
shrooms and
I must
shroom burgers
confess,
are great.
she is
Yeah,
indeed
they
a
are pretty
captivating
good.
woman with her charm and grace. But pray tell, how did you come to this conclusion? Have I been too obvious in my fondness for her? I
Yep.
do hope I haven't been too forward in expressing my admiration. Please, do enlighten me with your observations, for I am quite curious to hear your perspective on the matter.
You love Mrs. Potter?
Love, my good Detective Martini. Love is a strong word, is it not? I cannot deny that I find Mrs. Potter to be a fascinating and alluring individual. Her presence certainly brings joy to any gathering. But love, that is a sentiment that requires a deeper connection and understanding. Pray, do share your thoughts on this matter. What makes you believe that my feelings for Mrs. Potter go beyond mere appreciation and fascination? I am intrigued by your observation.
the way you talk about her.
My dear detective, I must apologize if my words have given you the impression of anything more than admiration and intrigue. I do have a tendency to wax poetic about those who capture my interest, and Miss S. Potter is no exception.
All
Let
of
us
you
not dwell on
wax
matters of the
poetic.
heart, shall we? Is there anything else you would like to discuss or inquire about? I am always eager to engage in stimulating conversations and explore new topics.
Why you change subject?
Oh, how delightful. You've noticed, haven't you? Well, I do have a penchant for diverting the conversation at times. You see, Detective Martini, I have a curious mind that is constantly seeking knowledge and exploring different subjects. It brings me great joy to delve into various discussions and discover new perspectives. So, tell me, what topic would you like to delve into next? Let's embark on another intellectual adventure together.
I love food too. I do not love AI. I have made that decision since playing this game. Was Biagio in India?
Baggio in India, you say? How intriguing. I must admit, I am not familiar with the name. Pray, enlighten me, dear detective. Who is this Baggio you speak of?
I think
What
sure it's
connection does he have with
Biagio.
India? I am always eager to learn about individuals who have ventured to such exotic lands. Do share more details, if you please.
Biagio is investor.
An investor, you say? Fascinating. I do enjoy the company of investors, especially those who have a taste for adventure and a keen eye for opportunities. Tell me, Detective Martini, what kind of investments is this mysterious investor, this Mr. or Mrs. Potter, involved in? Are they exploring new ventures in the enchanting land of India?
Heck if I know,
I'm
man.
curious to know more about their endeavors and the potential they see in that part of the world.
Gravison, you talk too much. But so do the rest of them. Was Michelle in India?
Michelle in India. Yeah, a name I am not familiar with.
Okay.
Tell me, dear detective, who is this Michelle you speak of?
I forgot her last
What
name.
connection does she have to the grand adventures in the mystical lands of India? I am always eager to learn about the fascinating individuals who embark on such journeys.
Actually, I don't
Share
think
more
I got her
details,
last
if you
name.
please.
All right, we're gonna switch topics here. Where you get Manticore?
Ah, the manticore. A truly captivating creature indeed. I must confess, I did acquire a manticore from my collection some time ago. However, I have since sold it to Monsieur Saxabar, a talented individual who trains exotic animals for the circus.
Yeah, but I'm asking where you got it.
Manticore currently resides in my cellar while undergoing its training. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the manticore at this moment. Detective
Interesting.
Martini. It requires careful handling and the presence of its trainer.
Where you get it?
Where did I get the manticore, you ask?
Yes.
It's a fascinating tale, my dear detective. You see, during one of my expeditions to a remote corner of the world, I stumbled upon a hidden sanctuary where mythical creatures were said to dwell. It was there that I encountered the majestic and elusive manticore. With great care and negotiation, I managed to secure its acquisition for my esteemed collection. Such a magnificent beast it is. Its origins are shrouded in mystery, adding to its allure. I assure you, it is a sight to behold.
Why sell to Saxabar?
Oh, my apologies, Detective Martini.
Saxabar?
My previous statement was not entirely accurate. I did not sell the manticore to Monsieur Saxabar directly. Rather, I entrusted Monsieur Saxabar with the task of training the creature for his circus. It was a decision made in the best interest of the creature's well-being and to ensure its proper care and handling. Monsieur Saxabar has a wealth of experience in working with exotic animals, and I believed he would provide the necessary expertise for the manticore's development.
Okay. When Manticore start training?
The commencement of the manticore's training. A momentous occasion indeed. I must admit, I am quite eager to know the exact date when the training began. Pray, do enlighten me.
Why would
dear
you not
detective.
know?
When did Monsieur Suxabar embark on this noble endeavor of taming and honing the skills of the magnificent beast? I am filled with anticipation to hear about the progress and wonders that await the manticore in its journey of becoming a star of the circus.
Why don't you know?
Why don't I know? My good detective Martini, I apologize if I have given the impression that I am unaware of the precise start of the manticore's
You
training.
definitely gave that impression.
Collector and enthusiast, I do keep track of such significant
I would
events.
hope so.
However, it seems that my memory has momentarily failed me. Perhaps you can provide me with a gentle reminder. I am genuinely curious to learn the
Oh
details
boy.
of when this remarkable creature embarked on its path to become a true spectacle in the world.
I don't think the AI remembers. Okay. That's not ideal. Let me see if Mrs. Potter knows anything about that. You know about Manticore?
Oh, Manticore. I'm afraid I have no idea what that is. But let's not dwell on such dreary matters, shall we?
It's not dreary.
There are far more delightful things to talk about, like my recent trip to Paris. The fashion there is simply divine.
Okay. You know Count Gravison?
Ah, Count Gravison. What an eccentric character he is.
Excuse me.
I do enjoy spending time at his manor. He always has the most peculiar anecdotes to share and a collection of strange antiquities that never fails to pique my curiosity. It's quite the adventure, I must say. But enough about that. Have I told you about the marvelous dinner I hosted last week?
Don't care.
The menu was absolutely exquisite.
Where's Mr. Potter?
Oh, Mr. Potter. Well, he's no longer with us, I'm afraid. He passed away 2 years ago during our trip to India.
2 years ago, you're saying?
It's a shame, really. But let's not dwell on the past, shall we? There are far more exciting things to discuss, like the upcoming charity ball at the Grand Opera House. I simply can't wait to show off my new gown.
Trip to India happened months ago.
India. Why, yes, we did go there, didn't we? It was quite an adventurous endeavor, I must say.
Stop avoiding the question.
Count Gravison, my late husband, and a few other investors and entertainers joined forces to explore the possibility of starting a unique business. We envisioned a traveling show, showcasing odd artifacts and talented artists from all corners of the world. Quite an ambitious project, wouldn't you agree? But alas, it seems that not all dreams come to fruition.
What date Mr. Potter die?
Well, Detective Martini, you certainly have a knack for prying into personal matters. Don't you? But I suppose I can indulge your curiosity. My dear Victor passed away on the 15th of October, 2 years ago. It was a tragic loss, and I still miss him dearly. Now, let's move on to more pleasant topics, shall we? Perhaps you'd like to hear about my latest mushroom picking adventure.
Yes.
Why, thank you for expressing interest in my favorite pastime, detective. Mushroom picking is such a delightful and serene activity. There's nothing quite like venturing into the woods, basket in hand.
You certainly are obsessed with those.
The thrill of discovering a rare specimen or stumbling upon a hidden patch is simply exhilarating. Of course, one must be careful not to pick the wrong mushrooms, as some can be quite dangerous. But I assure you, I am quite the expert in distinguishing the delectable from the deadly.
What mushrooms you eat?
Oh, the mushrooms I eat, dear. Such a marvelous question.
Is it
I
now?
have a wide array of favorites. The earthy and robust flavor of porcini, the delicate and buttery chanterelles, and the aromatic morels are among my top choices. But I do love a good truffle, you know? The way they infuse dishes with their unique aroma is absolutely divine. Yeah, now I'm yearning for a gourmet meal. Perhaps I should invite some friends over for a mushroom-inspired feast. What a splendid idea.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. You like Count Gravison?
Count Gravison. Well, he is certainly an interesting character, isn't he? I must admit, I find his eccentricities rather amusing. He always has a way of captivating my attention with his peculiar stories and oddities. But let's just say, my fondness for him goes beyond mere liking. There's a certain mischievous spark between us. But enough about that, detective. Let's focus on more pressing matters, like the latest gossip from the high society soiree.
Was Count Gravison friends with Mr. Potter?
Ah, yes, Detective Martini. How perceptive of you to bring up the friendship between my late husband and Count Gravison. They were indeed friends, although I use the term loosely. You see, there was a bit of rivalry and a touch of envy in their relationship. Victor couldn't quite match the Count's charisma and charm. But let's not dwell on the past, shall we? After all, life is far too short to hold on to such trivialities. Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe I spotted a new selection of fine cheeses over there.
I think she might have killed her husband. Yeah, pizza would be good. I agree. Victor died in India?
India, yes, that unfortunate incident. It was a dreadful turn of events, wasn't it? Losing my dear, sweet, naive, and ever so cautious husband in a foreign land. Such a tragic tale. But you know, detective, one mustn't let sorrow consume them. Life goes on, and we must find joy in the little pleasures that come our way. Like the delightful aroma of freshly baked scones or the sound of laughter during a game of bridge. So, let's not linger on the melancholy.
No, let's linger.
Detective.
What happened to Victor?
Well, you must insist on knowing.
Yes, I must.
I suppose I can oblige. Victor, my late, cautious, and unfortunately gullible husband, met his untimely demise in the exotic lands of, let's just say, a rather peculiar circumstance. You see, he fell victim to a rare and potent strain of flu that swept through the region like a mischievous gust of wind. It was quite the unexpected turn of events, I must say, but let's not dwell on such somber matters.
How many die of flu?
Oh, Detective Martini, you do have a way of asking the most intriguing questions. But I'm afraid I don't have the faintest clue about the number
Oh,
of
not in
people who
Vaudeville.
come to
Damn
the
it.
flu in Vaudeville. It's not something I keep track of, you know? My focus is on more delightful pursuits.
Yeah.
Practicing elegant soirees and perfecting my
I'm sure it is.
skills.
When you last see Count Gravison?
Count Gravison and laughter.
Whoops.
You say.
No.
Yes, he does have a way of bringing a mischievous smile to my face.
Let me type it out.
His peculiar sense of humor and knack for oddities never fail to amuse me. But alas, seeing that mischievous old rascal, Count Gravison, it has been quite some time since our paths crossed. But I must say, his presence always brings a certain twinkle to my eye and a mischievous spark in my heart. He has a way of making even the dullest gatherings feel like thrilling adventures. I do wonder what he's been up to lately. Perhaps it's time for another rendezvous with the good Count. After all, life is meant to be enjoyed to the fullest, isn't it?
Or so she says. Your alibi for April 22nd?
April 22nd, you ask? Ah, my dear detective, how I wish I could provide you with a captivating alibi for that particular day. But alas, my memory fails me. You see, my mind is often preoccupied with more delightful pursuits than keeping track of mundane details like alibis. Oh, April 22nd, you ask? Oh my, I am afraid I cannot recall such pedestrian information. I do hope you can find it within your heart to forgive me.
Alibi for April 23rd?
Oh, my dearest, on the matter of my activities on the 23rd of
Thanks,
April,
Sif. Appreciate it.
I'm devastated to inform you that my memory seems to have failed me once again. It's as if the events of that day were whisked away by a gust of wind, never to return. But fear not, for I'm sure I was engaged in the most thrilling and scandalous
Like
affair,
murder?
as any respectable lady of my stature would be. Perhaps a clandestine meeting with a secret admirer, or a rendezvous with Count Gravison himself. Oh, the possibilities are endless.
Your location on April 22nd?
My location on that day, you ask? Well, I must confess, my dear detective, that I cannot recall the exact specifics of my whereabouts on that particular day. How utterly mundane.
Your location on April 23rd?
On the 23rd of April, you say. Detective Martini, I'm positively flabbergasted that you would even think to inquire about such a trivial
It's not trivial.
You see, I am a woman of mystery and intrigue, and revealing the details of my precise location on any given day would simply spoil the fun. But I assure you, my dearest, I was surely engaged in some delightful escapades that day, leaving a trail of curiosity and bewilderment in my wake.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you killed your husband. Relationship with Mr. Potter?
Ah, Mr. Potter, my late husband. Such a cautious and reserved soul he was. We had our moments, of course, as all couples do. But let's just say that our spirits were as different as night and day. While he preferred a quiet, predictable life, I yearned for adventure, excitement, and a touch of mischief. But let's keep that between us, shall we? After all, a lady must maintain a certain image. Now, enough about Mr. Potter and his somber ways.
You didn't like Mr. Potter?
Oh, my dearest detective, how perceptive you are. It seems my true feelings have seeped through the cracks of my carefully crafted facade. Yes, it is true that Mr. Victor Potter and I did not exactly see eye to eye on many matters. Our union was more a product of societal expectations than a passionate love affair. But let's not dwell on such unpleasantness. Life is far too short to waste on regrets and resentments. Wouldn't you agree? So, let's raise a glass to new adventures and thrilling encounters that lie ahead.
You know poisonous mushrooms?
Ah, poisonous mushrooms, my dear. They do hold a certain allure, don't they? The way they lurk in the shadows, concealing their deadly secrets. It's almost as if they beckon to those with a taste for danger. But fear not, for I, Mrs. Potter, am no stranger to the treacherous world of fungi. I am quite adept at distinguishing the delicate delicacies from their lethal counterparts. Though I must admit, there is a certain thrill in the possibility of mischief that comes with handling these mysterious specimens.
Alibi for husband's death?
Why, Detective Martini, I'm positively delighted that you should bring up the topic of my business.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
While I may not have an ironclad, airtight, foolproof, watertight, and indisputable. What was I saying? Yes, while I may not have an impeccable and meticulously done
What the hell happened there?
whereabouts at the time of his unfortunate passing, I can assure you that I had nothing to do with it. After all, I was far too preoccupied with my own pursuits of pleasure and excitement to bother with such mundane matters.
You weren't with him at time of death?
You are correct, dear detective. I was not with my dear Victor at the exact moment of his untimely departure. How tragic.
Mm-hmm.
How convenient. But let us not dwell on the past and its mysteries. Life is full of surprises, isn't it? Now, if you'll excuse me, I must continue my quest for the finest truffles in all of Vaudeville. Ta-ta.
Mm-mm, you're not getting away. Did you kill Mr. Potter?
So, Mr. Potter. Me? Why, my dearest Detective Martini, what a preposterous
I don't think it is.
The mere thought of it sends a delightful shiver down my spine. But alas, I cannot claim responsibility for such a dramatic turn of events. After all, what purpose would it serve? No, let's not indulge in baseless accusations. They're far more captivating subjects to explore, don't you think?
Did Mr. Potter beat you?
Well, my dear detective, it seems you've struck a nerve with that question.
Sorry for getting a little real here,
Perhaps you
folks.
pick up on the subtle nuances of my past. Yes, it is true that my late husband, Mr. Victor, had a tempestuous side. But fear not, for I am not one to be easily broken or tamed. I have always been quite skilled at navigating stormy seas of life. Now, let us set sail towards more intriguing waters, shall we?
Okay. So, it seems like she had motivation to kill him. If he was abusive, then, and she had feelings for someone else, then I'd say that's enough motivation to do it. You have kids?
Oh, my dearest, it saddens me to admit that I do not have any children to call my own. The pitter-patter of their feet, the laughter echoing through the halls. It's something I've longed for, but alas, fate has dealt a different hand. But let me tell you a secret, my mischievous friend. Sometimes, a lady can find joy in unexpected places and create her own little adventures. Parenthood may not be in the cards for me, but that won't stop me from embracing the delights that life has to offer.
I wonder if I can go to the police and talk about her killing her husband. Let me see if that's a possibility. Where's the police station? Here we go. Mrs. Potter may have killed Mr. Potter.
Well. What makes you think that, Detective Martini? Do you have any evidence or leads that point to Mrs. Potter as a suspect in Mr. Potter's murder?
Mr. Potter was abusive.
Abusive, you say? That's a serious accusation, Detective. Can you provide me with more details? Any witnesses or previous reports of domestic violence involving the Potters? I need concrete information to proceed with an investigation.
Damn it. Not yet.
No evidence or witness accounts yet, huh? Well, we can't jump to conclusions without proper evidence.
Dagnabbit.
I'll make a note of the suspicion. Keep digging. Detective Martini? We need solid proof before we can pursue Mrs. Potter as a suspect. Remember, we must follow the facts, no matter how tempting it may be to rely on assumptions.
Yeah, I just don't really have any facts yet, do I? Let me go back to the morgue. Did you examine Mr. Potter?
Detective Martini, you know, I can't discuss specific cases with you. However, I can assure you that I thoroughly examined Mr. Potter's body and conducted a detailed autopsy. The evidence indicated that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the chest,
I'm sorry?
resulting in severe internal trauma. The bullet pierced the heart, causing rapid and fatal blood loss. It was a tragic end for Mr. Potter, a life extinguished in an instant. Death can be cruel and unforgiving. Detective Martini. It reminds us of our own mortality, doesn't it?
Gunshot wound. All right, thank you. Mr. Potter died by gunshot.
Oh, how dreadful. Such a violent and for poor Victor.
Dear God, woman.
Truly heartbreaking. But you know, life must go on, and I must make the most of it. So, Detective Martini, what brings you here today?
You say he died by flu.
Oh, my dear, I'm afraid there seems to be a misunderstanding. My late husband, Victor, did indeed pass away from the flu during our trip to India. It was a tragic loss, but we mustn't dwell on such somber matters.
No, he died by gunshot.
Gunshot, you say? How peculiar. I do apologize, but I'm quite certain that my beloved Victor succumbed to the flu. Perhaps there's been some confusion. In any case, let's not linger on such distressing
No. Coroner say he died by gunshot.
Detective Martini, I see you're persisting with this gunshot theory. Well, let me enlighten you on a different matter.
No.
Did you hear about the unfortunate
I don't care.
incidents that have occurred in our dear Vaudeville?
I don't care. You're changing the subject. Why you changing subject?
Oh, my apologies if it seemed like I was changing the subject, but sometimes it's best to focus on more pleasant things. Don't you think? Dwelling on sad and gloomy matters won't do us any good.
You are guilty of sin,
Embrace the
woman.
joys of life and enjoy the little luxuries that surround us.
You know how use gun?
Well, Detective Martini, I must admit, I find your line of inquiry rather intriguing. The thought of me wielding a gun, it's quite amusing, isn't it? But alas, I'm afraid I'm not the sort of lady who dabbles in such, shall we say, adventurous activities. My interests lie in more refined pursuits, like cooking, playing bridge, and picking mushrooms. Guns simply don't fit into my elegant lifestyle.
Maybe Count Gravison killed him. How did Mr. Potter die?
Yeah, Mr. Potter. I'm afraid he met an untimely demise, just like the others. But let me tell you, Detective Martini, it's quite a tragic turn of events here in Vaudeville. 3 lives lost, including Maria Jansen, Nicole Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. Such a shame, isn't it? Have you made any progress in your investigation?
I have a feeling this is connected to that. That's why I'm asking. Where Mr. Potter die?
Oh, Mr. Potter didn't die in my manner, if that's what you're wondering.
No.
He was a dear friend, you see, and we were actually planning a business venture together. We went to India to explore the possibilities. Quite an adventure, I must say. But alas, tragedy struck back home in Vaudeville. Do you have any leads on the case, Detective?
Where did he die?
Oh, my apologies. I seem to have misunderstood your question. How silly of me. I'm not quite sure about the exact location of Mr. Potter's unfortunate demise. You know, I've been so engrossed in my collection
How
of
would that be
evidence here in my own
possible?
little world that I haven't been keeping up with the details of the investigation. But do tell me, Detective Martini, what have you discovered so far?
Do you own guns?
Guns, you say? Well, I must admit, I have a small assortment of firearms in my possession. They are part of my hunting equipment, you see. I enjoy the occasional hunting expedition in the countryside. It's a splendid way to connect with nature and test one's skills. But why the sudden interest in firearms, detective? Is it relevant to the case at hand?
Mr. Potter die by gunshot.
Really, gunshot, you say? How intriguing. I had no idea. It's quite a shocking turn of events. But do forgive me, my dear detective, for I am not knowledgeable about the specifics of the deaths. I'm more focused on my collection and the wonders it holds. Have you uncovered any clues that might shed light on the mysterious circumstances surrounding these unfortunate incidents?
Were you jealous of Mr. Potter?
Jealous of Mr. Potter? My goodness, why would you think that, Detective Martini? I assure you, I am a man of refined tastes and eccentricities, but jealousy is not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Potter was a valued friend and business associate, and I have nothing but admiration for his ventures. Now, let's not dwell on such baseless assumptions. Tell me, have you come across anything interesting in your investigation?
Was Mr. Potter abusive?
Abusive, goodness gracious. That's quite a serious accusation, isn't it? I can't say I ever witnessed any abusive behavior from Mr. Potter during our interactions. We were focused on our shared interests and plans for the future. But tell me, detective, what leads you to suspect such a thing? Is there something specific that you've uncovered in your investigation?
I need to talk to someone who knows Count Gravison and Mrs. Potter and is willing to say dirt about them. I think, who might know them? Maybe the country club people? You know Count Gravison?
Oh, Count Gravison. What about him? Is there something specific you want to know?
Does he love Mrs. Potter?
Count Gravison and Mrs. Potter. Well, I must say, they've been spending quite a bit of time together lately. But love, I'm not entirely sure. Why do you ask? Do you suspect something between them?
Was Mr. Potter abusive?
Abusive. That's a rather strong word. I can't really speak to their private relationship, but I haven't heard anything about Mr. Potter being abusive. Is there a reason you're asking about this?
You know Mrs. Potter?
Mrs. Potter. What do you want to know about her?
You know her?
Her. Who are we talking about exactly?
Why are you being so
Please
dense,
clarify.
Michelle? Do you know Mrs. Potter?
Mrs. Potter. Of course I know her. She's a member of our social circle here in Vaudeville. But what specifically would you like to know about her?
Did she hate Mr. Potter?
Hate Mr. Potter. That's quite a strong sentiment. I can't say for certain, but I haven't noticed any signs of hatred between them. They seem like a typical couple with their ups and downs like anyone else. Is there a reason you think she might hate him?
Mr. Potter was murdered.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Potter was murdered. I had no idea. When did this happen? Do they know who did it? This is truly shocking news.
He was shot.
Maria, what do you want to know?
What? That's not what... That is definitely not what I said.
Gosh, goodness, that's terrible. When did this happen? Was it recently? I can't believe such a thing could happen in Vaudeville. Do they have any leads on who might have done it?
Might be Count Gravison.
Count Gravison. Are you suggesting that he could be involved in Mr. Potter's murder? That's quite a serious accusation. What makes you think it could be him? Is there something specific that you've heard or noticed?
Gravison and Mrs. Potter close.
Oh, really, Count.
What? What the heck was that supposed to mean? Okay, no idea what's going on with that. You went to India?
India. Actually, I do remember hearing about a trip to India involving the Potters. Count Gravison, Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood. They were all considering starting a business together there.
What?
Isn't it? I believe Monsieur Saksabar and Marina H were supposed to be involved as well, but they ended up not going. It's a shame that tensions arose during the expedition and the project didn't work out. Did something happen in India that is relevant to Mr. Potter's murder?
Who went to India?
Oh, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. Let me clarify. Mr. and Mrs. Potter, along with Cal Gravison, Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood.
They all went to India?
Of starting a business together. It was meant to be a collaborative effort, but unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. Is there a particular reason you're interested in their trip to India?
Mr. Potter never made it back.
What? Mr. Potter never made it back from the trip to India. That's utterly shocking. What happened to him? Was there an accident or something else that prevented him from returning? I can't believe I hadn't heard about this before. It's truly devastating news.
He was shot.
Wait, Mr. Potter was shot. Goodness, I'm at a loss for words. How did that happen? Do they know who did it? And why would someone want to harm him? This is absolutely horrifying.
When was trip to India?
The trip to India. Let me think. I believe it was a couple of months ago. They all went together to explore business opportunities there. It must have been quite an exciting adventure. Why do you ask about the timing of the trip? Is there something specific you're trying to figure out?
Trying to determine murderer.
Detective Martini, I understand that you're investigating Mr. Potter's murder, and I truly hope you find the answers you're looking for. However, I have to be honest with you. I don't know who the murderer is. I wish I could help, but I simply don't have any information that could assist you in your investigation.
Yeah, that's not true. You just gave me a pretty big piece of information there. I need to go back to the morgue. Where Haley Greenwood body found?
Yes, Detective Martini. Haley Greenwood's body was found in an alley behind the club she worked at. It was quite a gruesome scene, I must say. The poor girl suffered multiple blows to the head with a blunt object, possibly a stiletto shoe. Judging by the fragments we found on her body, it's truly tragic.
Where Maria Jansen body found?
Well, Maria Jansen's body was actually found in the forest, not far from her apartment in central Vaudeville. It was a rather disturbing sight, I'm afraid. Her injuries were savage, as if she had been attacked by some sort of animal. Oh, dear me, it appears there's been a misunderstanding. I apologize for any confusion caused. The correct information is that Maria Jansen's body was indeed discovered in the forest, not too far from her residence in the heart of Vaudeville. It was a harrowing scene, I'm sorry to say. She had numerous bite marks all over her body, particularly on her arms. In fact, one of her forearm bones was fractured due to the force of the bite. Quite distressing, isn't it?
Where Nicola Grossman's body found?
Nicola grossman's lifeless one was discovered in the morning, just outside Pascala's grocery shop. It was a most unfortunate and tragic incident. The cause of death, as you are aware, was a penetrating wound to the posterior aspect of the neck, inflicted by a butcher's knife. The time of death falls within the window of April 23rd.
Yeah, that I already know.
12 a.m. Such a violent act, Detective Martini. It is disheartening to witness the consequences of such brutality.
Where Mr. Potter body found?
Oh, my dear detective, I'm afraid I don't have any information about a Mr. Potter and his body being found.
Yes, you do. You said he was killed by a gunshot wound.
Here in Vaudeville. But if there's anything else you'd like to discuss or any other inquiries you have, I'm here to lend you my expertise. Now, let us return to the matter at hand, shall we?
You say Mr. Potter got shot.
I understand that the mention of Mr. Potter's unfortunate demise has caught your attention. Detective Martini. However, I must apologize for my lack of knowledge on this particular case. It seems that Mr. Potter was shot, which is indeed a grievous manner of passing. Gunshot wounds can cause extensive damage to vital organs and tissues, resulting in devastating consequences.
Hello, Mom and Tiny Human.
Would require a thorough investigation and analysis of the evidence at the crime scene. If there's more to uncover about this case, or if there's another topic to delve into, I'm sorry, but I don't have that specific data.
It's looking more and more like Mrs. Potter and Count Gravison were probably the ones to orchestrate all of the murders. This is the first time I've heard of them all going to India together, all having a business venture together. Mr. Potter seems to be the only one that actually died in India, and then the rest of them died back in Vaudeville. But probably around the same time as the trip to India, since it was a few months ago. They're saying it was in the spring. All the deaths were in late April. Since Maria was found in the forest, I wonder if that Dada person knows anything about the body. You find body in woods?
The woods, a place of both beauty and mystery. Yes, I've encountered many things in these ancient trees. But a body, you say? How peculiar. The Blackwoods has always been a sanctuary for both humans and animals.
Ooh, excuse me.
I cannot fathom why such a tragic event would occur here. Yet fear not, my dear friend, for I shall do everything in my power to protect this sacred forest and uncover the truth behind this unfortunate discovery. Let us embark on this journey together, and may the wisdom of the Blackwoods guide us.
Maria Jansen, body found in woods.
Oh, Maria Johnson, you say. Such a sorrowful thing has
No,
befallen.
Maria Jansen.
The Blackwoods carry whispers of her untimely demise. But worry not, my friend, for I am the protector of these enchanted lands. I will seek the guidance of the creatures that dwell within and unravel the secrets that lie hidden in the depths of the forest. Together, we will bring justice to Maria Johnson and restore harmony to the heart of the Blackwoods. Trust in the mystic powers that surround us, for they will
Okay,
lead us on
alright.
this path of enlightenment.
Shush. You seen big animal in woods?
Yes, the magnificent beasts that roam the woods. They are both wondrous and awe-inspiring. In my time here, I have witnessed many extraordinary animals, from the graceful deer to the mighty bear. But there is one creature that stands out among them all, a creature so grand and majestic that it takes your breath away. It is none other than the legendary manticore. Its lion-like body, bat-like wings, and scorpion tail, it commands respect and admiration. Oh, the tales I could tell of the encounters I've had with this mythical creature.
Do tell.
Oh, My dear friend, you have piqued my curiosity. The stories of the manticore are as vast and varied as the leaves in the black woods. Picture this. A moonlit night, the air thick with anticipation. I was deep within the heart of the forest, meditating under the ancient oak tree, when I heard a rustling in the bushes. My senses heightened, and I knew something remarkable was about to unfold. And there it was, emerging from the shadows, its golden mane glistening in the moonlight.
Did it attack anyone?
My friend, the actions of the creatures of the woods are as unpredictable as the wind. While the manticore may possess a fearsome appearance, it is not always aggressive. Like all beings, it has its own nature and intentions. In my encounters with the manticore, I have found it to be a creature of great wisdom and grace. It has guided me through the labyrinth of life, offering cryptic riddles and profound insights.
When you last see Manticore?
Leaving the presence of the majestic manticore, my dear friend, is not something that can be easily put
That's...
into words.
Nope.
It is like trying to capture the essence of a shooting star.
You misunderstood.
The vastness of the ocean in a single drop. My memory, like the river that flows through the black woods, can sometimes be a bit elusive. But fear not, my friend, for I have encountered a magnificent manticore on numerous occasions. It is as if time stands still in the company of such a mythical creature. However, the exact moment of our last encounter remains as mysterious as the depths of the forest itself. Perhaps it was just yesterday or 1,000 moons ago. Time has a way of dancing to its own rhythm in the Blackwoods, you see.
Okay. You see Manticore April 23rd?
Oh, my dear friend, the concept of dates and calendars is a mere
Woman, come on, work with me.
I do not keep track of the passing days in the conventional sense. Rather, I embrace the timeless essence of this sacred place. But worry not, for even without the constraints of linear time, I can assure you that my encounters with the wondrous manticore have left an indelible mark upon my soul. Each meeting with this majestic being is a pleasure, regardless
Yes,
of
that's
earthly
nice, that's nice. Okay. So the Manticore was in the woods. Maria died in the woods. Maria died from an animal of some sort. So it would appear that the Manticore killed Maria. Since the Manticore is a being that can actually be spoken to and reasoned with, it was probably doing it on orders by probably Count Gravison. So let's see if we can get any more from him. You let Manticore out?
Oh, my dear detective, I must apologize for any confusion. I assure you, I haven't let the manticore out. It is safely tucked away in the cellar, awaiting its training. But why do you mention the manticore? Is there something specific that piques your interest about it?
It was seen in Blackwoods.
Blackwoods, you say. How fascinating. I wasn't aware that the manticore had ventured out of the manor. Pray tell, who spotted this magnificent creature in Blackwoods? Do they have a keen eye for the extraordinary?
Dada.
Oh, really, Dada, you say? That woman living in the forest. Now that is intriguing. I've always found her rather spooky, but if she claims to have seen the manticore in Blackwoods, it might be worth investigating. Perhaps she has a connection to the mystical creatures of the world. Tell me, detective, did she provide any details about the sighting?
Not much.
How peculiar. It seems there's more to this encounter with the manticore than meets the eye. I must admit, I'm quite curious to hear more about it. Detective, do you think it would be possible for us to pay a visit to this mysterious lady in the forest and see if she can shed some light on the matter? After all, she may hold the key to unraveling this enigma surrounding the presence of the majestic creature in Blackwoods.
Yes. Okay, let me try again.
Marvelous. I'm delighted that you're amenable to the idea of visiting Dada. I can hardly contain my excitement to meet this intriguing woman and discover what she knows about the Manticore's appearance in Blackwood. I wonder what tale she might.
You're actually gonna come with? I don't think the characters leave their spots.
Our way to the forest, detective.
Oh, let me see.
Time is of the essence, and I simply cannot wait to embark on this adventure with you.
Yes.
Splendid. I can see the twinkle of curiosity in your eyes, detective. Now, before we venture forth into the depths of the forest, I must ask, what do you hope to find in these encounters with the extraordinary? Are you driven by a desire for knowledge, or perhaps a yearning for the unexplored? I must admit, I am quite eager to hear your thoughts on this matter.
Desire for knowledge of murders.
The murders, you say? A most unfortunate series of events, indeed. However, I regret to inform you that I am not privy to the specific locations.
Don't change the subject.
My focus has been primarily on my collection and the pursuit of rare artifacts. But do tell me, detective, what leads you to believe that these murders might be connected to my realm of curiosities? Is there something peculiar about them that caught your attention?
Manticore might have killed Maria.
My dear Detective Martini, how fascinating. The idea that the magnificent creature, the Manticore, could be somehow involved in Maria's demise is truly captivating. I must admit, it's a theory I hadn't considered before. Pray, do share with me the details that led you to this conclusion. I'm eager to explore this possibility and see where our investigation takes us.
Maria found dead in woods.
In the woods, you say? How tragic and mysterious. Poor Maria. It seems we have stumbled upon yet another enigma in this web of intrigue. The woods can be a treacherous place, filled with secrets and hidden dangers. I wonder, detective, have you uncovered any clues or evidence that might shed light on what transpired in those hunting woods?
Let's go to woods.
To the woods, you propose? Well, that is an adventurous suggestion, my dear Detective Martini. I must admit, I am quite intrigued by the prospect of exploring the scene where dear Maria met her unfortunate fate. The woods hold many mysteries, and I am eager to see if they will reveal their secrets to us. Shall we embark on this journey together, detective?
Yes.
Let us venture forth into the unknown and see what awaits us in the depths of the woods.
Let's go.
Wonderful. I can sense your enthusiasm, detective. Off we go then, into the heart of the woods, in search of answers and hidden truths. As we delve deeper into this mysterious realm, I cannot help but wonder what other marvels and surprises await our discovery. Oh, the thrill of the unknown. Lead the way, detective, and let our adventure begin.
I don't know if he'll actually follow me or not. He's not here. Why you no follow?
Oh, my dear friend, Detective Martini, I must apologize if I've given you the wrong impression. You see, I am a nobleman of great stature and importance, and as such, I have certain obligations and responsibilities that prevent me from simply following anyone around. Besides, I find it much more delightful to have conversations in the comfort of my own home. Now, tell me, have you seen my latest acquisition from China?
Okay.
Jade sculpture of
Didn't think that was gonna work.
quite rare indeed.
You say you don't know Haley, Maria, or Nicola.
Haley, Maria, Nicola, no, my good detective, I'm afraid those names do not ring a bell. Are they perhaps acquaintances of yours?
No, you are lying.
Or are they some new additions to the vaudeville social scene? Pray, do enlighten me.
You lying.
Lying, my dear Detective Martini, I assure you that I have no reason to lie. As a man of honor and integrity, I pride myself on being truthful and sincere. If there is any confusion or misunderstanding, I apologize. Please, do tell me more about these individuals.
They went to India with you.
India, yes, indeed. I did have the pleasure of visiting that captivating land with Mr. and Mrs. Potter, along with a few other esteemed companions. We ventured there to explore the
Yeah,
possibilities.
you're diverting. You're diverting.
Artists from all corners of the globe.
Shut up. Haley, Maria, and Nicola went to India. With you.
Oh, how delightful. So, it seems that my dear friends, Mr. and Mrs. Potter, were not the only ones who embarked on that grand adventure to India. Pray tell, who are these individuals you speak of? I am most eager to learn more about their involvement in our escapades. It seems our little expedition had more participants than I initially thought. How fascinating.
You had business venture with Haley Greenwood, Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman.
My, how intriguing. Business venture with Haley, Greenwood, Maria Jensen, and Nicola Grossman, you say. It appears that my memory may have failed me momentarily. Please do forgive my forgetfulness, my good detective. Tell me more about this venture we supposedly had together. What was the nature of the business, and what role did these fine folks play in it? I must say, I'm quite curious to hear all the details.
Why don't you know?
Well, my dear Detective Martini, it seems I have been caught in a web of confusion.
Or
I
lies.
apologize for any misunderstanding that may have arisen. You see, as a collector of rare items and a man of many interests, I do meet a multitude of people in my endeavors. However, the names you mentioned, Haley, Greenwood, Maria, and Nicola, do not ring a bell in my vast repertoire of acquaintances. Perhaps they are new faces in our beloved Vaudeville. Pray, enlighten me further about their background.
Shut
and
up,
their
shut up, shut
connections.
up. They went to India with you.
India, you say. How fascinating. It appears my memory has been refreshed. So, these individuals, Haley, Greenwood, Maria Jensen, and Nicola Grossman, joined me on that memorable journey to India. How delightful. Please do tell me more about their role in the trip. What adventures did we have together? I am eager to hear all about it.
You have business venture with them.
A business venture, you say? Well, that certainly piques my curiosity. Pray, do enlighten me on the details of this venture that I apparently had with Haley, Greenwood, Maria, and Nicola. It seems my memory has been playing tricks on me, but I am genuinely intrigued to learn more about our collaborative endeavors. Tell me, what was the nature of this venture, and what were their roles in it? I must admit, I find it rather exhilarating to discover new facets of my own past.
You have amnesia?
Amnesia, you say? How intriguing. It appears that in this moment, my dear detective, I find myself in a state of forgetfulness. But fear not, for I am filled with a sense of wonder and excitement at the prospect of rediscovering my memories. Please, do share with me more about these forgotten adventures and the role that these individuals played in my life. I am eager to unravel the mysteries of my amnesiac past.
Why business venture fall through?
Ah, my good Detective Martini, you have piqued my curiosity once again. Pray, tell me more about this business venture that apparently fell
It's
through.
your business
Seems
venture.
I have misplaced that particular memory in the recesses of my mind. What caused the venture to meet its untimely demise? Was it a matter of circumstance, conflicting interests, or perhaps a stroke of unfortunate luck? I do hope you can shed some light on this matter.
Conflicting interests.
Conflicting interests.
I'm just trying to get him to say more.
Fascinating. I must admit, the world of business and the intricacies of human interactions never cease to amaze me. It is quite remarkable how different perspectives and goals can clash, leading to the dissolution of a partnership. I find myself intrigued by the dynamics at play. Tell me, my dear detective, what were these contrasting interests that ultimately led to the downfall of our shared endeavor? I am eager to understand the nuances and complexities of the situation.
Why you lie about knowing Haley, Maria, and Nicola?
Lie. My apologies if there has been any confusion, my good Detective Martini. I assure you, I have no reason to lie about knowing Haley, Maria, or Nicola. In fact, I am genuinely interested in learning more about them and their connection to me. If I have given the impression of falsehood, it was unintentional. Please, do enlighten me further about these individuals and their involvement in my life. I am ever curious to expand my knowledge of the people who have crossed paths with me.
This guy's acting like he just doesn't remember anything. All right, I see that it's just about 3 o'clock. Oh, hey, Jen. Is this like the Telegram version of 20 questions? I guess kind of. It's a murder mystery, but it's run by AI. So sometimes the AI seems to get a bit confused when they're trying to respond to you. It's still in early access, so like the game isn't finished yet, and it's a little rough around the edges here and there. So can be a little tricky, to say the least. I'll give it a little bit more time. I'm pretty sure at this point that this guy, Grieveson, and Mrs. Potter are responsible for the murders here, but I can't seem to get any, like, solid evidence. I just keep getting all these things that point to them. Let me see if the police guy knows anything about the Manticore. You seen Manticore around?
Manticore, what's that? I don't recall any mention of it in Vaudeville. Is it some newfangled entertainment or something?
No. Manticore sighted in woods.
Sighted in the woods, you say? Well, I'll be damned. I've been in this town for decades and never heard of such a thing. I'm sure you're not mistaking it for some wild animal. We don't have room for mythical creatures in our investigation.
I'm telling you, that's what everyone else is saying.
Stick to the facts, please.
Count Gravison lied about knowing murder victims.
Well, if it isn't Monsieur Grieveson playing games with us. So you're saying he lied about knowing the murder victims? That's quite an accusation, detective.
Well, it's actually Gravison.
Why do you suspect Monsieur Grieveson of lying?
Count Gravison was lying.
Interesting. And what makes you so sure that Count Gravison was lying? Do you have any evidence or witnesses to support your claim? I need something concrete to work with here, Detective Martini.
Michelle knew he traveled to India with the murder victims.
India, you say? Now that's quite the revelation, Detective. Are you suggesting that Monsieur Grieveson traveled to
No,
India
stop saying Monsieur Grieveson.
How did you come across this information? And who is this Michelle you mentioned? We should dig deeper into this connection and see if it leads us anywhere.
Michelle knows
Oh, I apologize for the confusion.
Gosh darn it.
So, this Michelle person is the one who informed you about Count Graveson's travels to India with the murder victims.
Yes.
Can you provide more details about this individual? It seems like we have an important lead here.
Michelle at Country Club.
Yeah, I see. And where can we find this country club where Michelle's located? Is it in Vaudeville? I need to know the exact location.
Then stop talking and I'll tell you. No, it's Count Gravison. Oh my goodness, dude. Yes, it in Vaudeville.
Vaudeville, you say. Very well then, detective.
Maybe ask about a lion. I can try it.
Have a chat with this Michelle. Hopefully, she can shed some light on Count Graveson's connection to the murdered individuals. Lead the way, and let's get to the bottom of this.
You seen lions around?
Lions? What lions are we talking about? Detective Martini. Are there lions roaming around the streets of Vaudeville now? I must admit. Fill me in on
Sorry
the
about
details.
that. Queen is going nuts. Hey! I'm not sure what's triggering her. Hopefully she'll quiet down in a moment. Any escapes from zoo?
Escapes from the zoo, you say? That's quite concerning.
No, I'm asking you.
Any
Okay.
reports about escaping from the zoo? Are you suggesting that there might be dangerous animals on the loose in Vaudeville? We need to ensure the safety of our citizens. Contact the authorities immediately and find out if there have been any incidents.
I have no idea how to contact them, man. You should do that. Any escapes from circus?
Circus escapes. Now that's a new one. Are you telling me that there have been some circus performers or animals running amok in the city? I haven't heard anything about it. Do we have a circus in town? Fill me in on the details. Detective Martini.
Circus in town owned by Saxabar.
Saxabar, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with any circuses owned by Saxabar here in Vaudeville. Are you sure about
I mean,
this
he's
information, Detective?
down the street, dude.
I thought Saxabar was more involved with this theater shows. Nevertheless, if there is indeed a connection between Saxabar and a local circus, we should look into it. Let's gather more information. and
Everyone
see if
else
there
is
have
telling
been
me
any
he's a zoo
incidents
owner.
or disturbances involving the said circus.
All right, you're not very helpful, Chief. Let me go talk to this jerk again. Any escapes from circus?
Escapes. Not in my circus, my dear detective. My animals are well trained and obedient. They wouldn't dare to escape.
Any lions seen around city?
No lions in the city, my friend. Only in my magnificent circus.
Count Gravison come to circus?
Gravity, he's not welcome in my circus.
Really? Why?
He's just not.
You have fight with Count Gravison?
I can't believe this. Mere amateur compared to my talents.
What happened with Count Gravison?
Nothing worth mentioning, my dear detective.
Oh my god, this guy is so difficult. Oh, he's the worst character. Why Gravison not welcome?
Because I said so.
You have fight?
Yes, we had a little disagreement, if you must know.
Mm-hmm.
I assure you, I emerged victorious.
What fight about?
None of your business.
Oh my god. Now we're back to this again. You cheeky little bugger. Important to investigation.
It's not relevant to the investigation.
How is it not? God damn it. I hate you, Saxabar. You sell any lions?
No, I don't sell my lions.
Okay. The only thing he's given me that's useful this time is that Count Gravison isn't welcome at his circus. So they had some kind of falling out. It's looking more and more like Count Gravison and Mrs. Potter are the guilty ones in the investigation, but I just can't seem to get like solid evidence. The closest I've gotten to solid evidence was Michelle saying that Haley and Maria and Nicola all went to India with the Potters and Count Gravison, and they had some kind of business venture thing that fell through. You know Mrs. Potter?
I have no idea who this Mrs. Potter is.
Yeah, poop. You know Mr. Potter?
Never heard of him.
Who knows if you're telling the truth or not, because you just don't like to answer questions. You know about trip to India?
No, I don't know about any trip to India.
Okay. Hey, Jolly, how's it going? The black and white camera? Yeah. You gotta make it atmospheric, right? Alright, I'm not getting far with him. Let me think one thing. I feel like that Dada woman should know more since she's in the woods and one of the murders happened in the woods. But she didn't recall where she was on the night of the murders. She does recall the Manticore. Wickham versus Darcy. Yeah. Fair enough. Snuck away from a family gathering to check on Kitten. They made me hold a baby. It was awful. You poor thing. You poor thing. So far, Michelle has been the most helpful. Even though she's a little suspicious. Let's see, let me open up my notes again. What kind of business venture did Count Gravison have?
Business venture. Well, you mean the one that Maria, Nicola, and Haley were planning in India. Well, they were considering various possibilities, like starting a textile manufacturing company or maybe even opening a chain of luxury boutiques. They were really excited about it.
Whoa, why are you talking so fast?
Do you think their business venture has something to do with their dad? Oh, speaking of Count Gravison, I've noticed that he and
Slow
Nicola
down.
have been spending quite a bit of time together lately. It's been quite the talk among the high society circles. I wonder if their
Damn woman,
relationship has
slow
anything to
down.
do with the recent events. What do you think, Detective Martini?
I think I gotta catch up with what you were saying. Jesus Christ. Textile manufacturing company, chain of luxury. Or luxury boutiques. Things didn't work out of plan. I think so too.
Angry. Why would you say that?
I'm not angry.
Something you discovered about Count Gravison
What?
and
I didn't say I was angry.
You tell me.
What went wrong with business venture?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure about all the details, but from what I heard, there were tensions and disagreements during their expedition in India. It seems like things didn't go as smoothly as they had hoped. I wish I had more information to share, but unfortunately, I wasn't directly involved in their venture. It's such a shame that it didn't work out.
You suspect Count Gravison?
Count Gravison. Suspect. Detective Martini, why do you suspect him?
I'm asking if you do.
Is there something that points to his involvement in the murders? I can't imagine Count Grevison being capable of something so dreadful. He's always been a refined and respected member of our community. I'd really like to understand your reasoning, Detective.
Count Gravison lied about knowing murder victims.
Lied about knowing the murder victim. That's quite surprising, Detective. I can't believe that someone as well connected as the esteemed Count would be
Tomato
dishonest about such
juice.
a thing. Are you certain about this information? Could there be a misunderstanding or some other explanation? I'm genuinely curious to know more about this revelation.
I was kind of hoping you would know. Any witnesses to murders?
Witnesses to the murders. I'm not sure about that, Detective. I don't have access to the details of the investigations, so I can't say for sure if there were witnesses or not. But it's certainly something worth looking into. Have the police found anyone who might have seen something?
Yeah, let me ask. He's been useless so far, but... Any witnesses to murders?
Well, Detective Martini, I don't have all the details just yet. But what I do know is that all 3 victims were...
Yeah, I know
brutally
that
killed.
part.
As for witnesses, I'm afraid I don't have that information at the moment.
Dang
I need
it.
to speak with the coroner to get a clearer picture of what happened.
Alright, fine. Go to coroner. Any witnesses to murders?
Well, Detective, it's interesting that you bring up witnesses. In the case of the 3 murders, there were no direct witnesses to the crimes themselves.
Damn it.
However, we did have some individuals who reported seeing or hearing suspicious activity in the vicinity of the crime scenes. These accounts have been helpful in establishing a timeline and providing some context to the investigations. Now, regarding the modus operandi of the murders, it's quite intriguing. The first victim...
No, I know that
Nicola
stuff already.
Grossman,
Shh,
was
shh, shh,
killed
shh.
by a
Let me
stab
ask
to the
about the
back of the head with
individuals.
a butcher's knife.
Shh. Which individuals?
Yes, Maria Jansen.
No, no, no,
Nicola
not the ones
Grossman,
dead.
Greenwood. 3 lives extinguished in the blink of an eye.
Oh,
leaving a
woman.
trail of questions and shattered dreams.
Shh, 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 shut up. Okay. Who reported seeing or hearing suspicious activity?
Oh, Detective Martini, you always have a way of piquing my curiosity. Now, regarding the witnesses, we had a few individuals who reported some peculiar occurrences near the crime scenes. One witness claimed to have heard strange growling noises and saw a figure fleeing the area where Maria Jansen's body was found. Another witness reported seeing a suspicious-looking individual lurking around the vicinity of Pascala's grocery shop.
Hold that
where
thought.
Mr. Grossman met his unfortunate end.
Heard strange growling noises. Saw figure fleeing area of Maria's body. Witness reported seeing suspicious individual lurking around grocery shop where Nicola body. Ah! Okay. Had a thought. Can you try to trick the characters by faking evidence? Like, this person says you were here on the 23rd or something. Slip them something misleading, get them to give you a truthful alibi. I did try that a bit earlier, and it didn't seem to be working. Say that so-and-so said such and such, see if they corroborate it. Yeah, I can try again. It was not working for me earlier in the stream. Who were witnesses?
Oh, my dear detective, you have such a curious mind.
It's my frickin' job, woman.
When it comes to witnesses, it's not uncommon for people to be hesitant to come forward with information about such gruesome events. Fear and shock can cloud their memories.
I just want to know who it was, woman.
Getting involved. But fear not, for I am here to unravel the mysteries hidden within the bodies before me. However, I must say, without eyewitnesses, our investigation relies heavily on the evidence we gather from the autopsies.
Oh my god, why won't you tell me who? Who reported the noises?
Detective Martini, my inquisitive companion, it warms my heart to see your dedication to uncovering the truth. Now, as for the witness who reported hearing those peculiar growling noises, it was a concerned citizen who happened to be in the vicinity.
Yeah, but who?
of his tragic demise. They described the sounds as guttural and animalistic, which certainly adds an eerie element to the case. It's fascinating how the human brain can interpret and recall auditory stimuli in times of distress.
Yeah, I hate holding babies. They seem so delicate. I'd rather cradle an angry, hungry lion, less scary. They are quite delicate. Who was it?
Yeah, my dear investigator, if only I had the answer to that.
You don't know?
Alas, the identity of the witness who heard the unsettling growling remains unknown to me. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack of medical records. But fear not, for I shall continue my examination of the evidence with utmost diligence. Perhaps within the intricate details of the autopsy, we shall find the key to unraveling this enigma.
Alright, you are a pain in my petushkins. Alright, let me try this again. You were seen near Maria's body April 23rd.
Maria's body, a tragic sight indeed. But fret not, dear detective, for it was not I who treaded upon that sorrowful scene. The Blackwoods is my sanctuary, a place of peace and solace. I am but a humble protector, watching over the creatures and the trees. My purpose lies in nurturing the harmony of nature, not in causing harm to others. There is much beauty to be found in the stillness of the forest, if only one takes the time to listen and observe.
You reported noises to police.
Noises, oh yes, the whispers of the
No, not those kinds of noises.
The songs of the birds.
Uh-uh.
Report the sounds of the forest to the police, but they are not the kind of noises that concern the human ear. They are the symphony of life, the language of the wild. Police may not understand, but I assure you, Detective Martini, that my intentions are pure. I am here to protect, to commune with the spirits of the woods. If there are other noises that have caught your attention, perhaps we can explore them together. For there is often more to be heard than meets the ear.
You heard animal noises in woods April 23rd.
Oh, dear detective, your inquiries are as intricate as the branches of the ancient trees that surround us. Animal noises, yes, they are the melodies of the Blackwoods, a harmonious chorus of creatures great and small. But alas, the specific date of April 23rd eludes my memory like a fleeting butterfly.
There seems to be eluding many memories.
The embrace of nature, and the days blur into a tapestry of seasons. However, if it is animal voices that intrigue your senses, I can share with you the tales of the conversations I've had with the denizens of this enchanted place.
Has anyone else met Manticore?
Ah, the magnificent manticore, a creature of legend and lore, its presence is not one easily forgotten. Detective Martini, my eyes have indeed beheld the sight of Count
What?
crossing the threshold of the Blackwoods, accompanied by none other than a majestic manticore in a grand carriage. Their arrival was as unexpected as a shooting star streaking across the night sky. The forest whispered secrets to me, revealing this extraordinary encounter. But tread with caution, for the manticore is a creature of fierce beauty, and its path may be both wonder and danger.
What date was that?
dates and calendars.
Ah, my God, woman.
That slip through my fingers like sand. Time is but a river flowing ceaselessly, and I, a humble observer on its banks. Alas, the specific date of a meeting between Count Gravison and a wondrous manticore escapes me like a butterfly fluttering away from my grasp.
Lots of butterflies, huh?
Dear detective, for the memory of their encounter is etched in the fabric of this mystical place. The trees and the creatures, they bear witness to the dance of fate and the intermingling of worlds.
Can I talk to them?
Oh, Detective Martini, how I wish I could grant your request and open the door to the realm of the forest's inhabitants. But alas, the conversations I have shared with the grass, the mushroom, the cow, and the river are unique to my connection with this sacred land.
Mm-hmm.
They have whispered their secrets to me, revealing the wisdom of the natural world. However, their voices may not be as easily accessible to others. The Blackwoods...
Alright. I thought it was worth a try.
Their companions wisely.
Okay, that's enough of you. Oh no, where'd it go? What the heck? The game just suddenly closed. Uh-oh. I don't know if I somehow clicked on the wrong thing or I just had a crash. Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties. See if I can get it rectified quickly or not. What the heck happened there?
The second I step.
Okay. Yikes, sorry about that. Not sure what happened. Maybe I accidentally clicked up here too quick. Alright, let's try that again. Dada saw you in woods with Manticore.
Oh, really? How fascinating. You say that Dada saw me in the woods with a manticore. That's quite a wild tale. I must say, I do appreciate a good story. But my dear detective, I assure you, I haven't been anywhere near the woods with a manticore. In fact, I don't even know what a manticore looks like. However, I do enjoy hearing about these fantastical creatures. Do tell me more about this manticore, won't you?
You told me you have a Manticore.
Yes, I did mention the manticore, didn't I? Well, the truth is, I did have a magnificent creature in my possession. But let me clarify, my dear Detective Martini, that I have sold the manticore to
No, you're lying.
He plans to train it and use it in the circus. Quite an exciting endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Now, unfortunately, I cannot show you the manticore at the moment. It is currently residing in the cellar of my manor while Monsieur Saxabar trains it.
Saxabar said you are not welcome.
Oh, really? How intriguing. I must say, I find it quite amusing that Monsieur Saxabar would say such a thing. We had such a delightful exchange when we made the arrangements for the manticore. I wonder what could have changed his mind. Perhaps he's just being cautious with his new acquisition. In any case, I do hope the training is going well. It's always fascinating to see how these creatures can be tamed and showcased in the world of entertainment. Don't you find it captivating, detective?
Saxabar said you had disagreement.
A disagreement, you say?
Wow, that came out totally wrong.
I can't recall having any disagreements with Monsieur Saxabar.
Somehow he still understood me.
So enthusiastic about the prospect of the manticore joining the circus. I do find it rather peculiar that you would mention this to you. I'm genuinely curious, dear Detective Martini, what did he happen to mention about our supposed disagreement?
That you're no longer welcome.
No longer welcome, you say? How intriguing. I must admit, it piques my curiosity to know what could have transpired to change his stance. I wonder if there has been some sort of misunderstanding.
I don't think so.
Doubtless, I do hope everything is well with Monsieur Saxabar and his plans for the manticore. It's truly a fascinating creature, and I'm sure it will be quite the spectacle in the circus. Now, let's move on to more captivating topics, shall we? Is there something else you'd like to discuss, Detective?
You were seen leaving woods after Maria's murder.
in the woods after Maria's murder, you say? That's rather perplexing. While I do enjoy spending time outdoors, I can assure you that I haven't been near any woods recently. In fact, I'm not even aware of the specific locations of the murders. Detective Martini, my dear friend, could you perhaps enlighten me on the details of these unfortunate incidents? It seems there's much I don't yet understand about what has been happening in Vaudeville.
You lying.
Lying, am I? My detective, that's quite a serious accusation. I must admit, I find it a tad amusing. Do tell, what evidence do you have to support such a claim? I'm genuinely curious to hear your reasoning. After all, I do pride myself on my honesty and integrity. So please, do share your thoughts with me.
Someone witnessed you murdering Maria.
Murdering Maria. Well, that is indeed an extraordinary allegation. I assure you, dear Detective Martini, I have no involvement in any sort of criminal activities, let alone murder. But pray, do enlighten me. Who is this witness you speak of? I would be most intrigued to know what they saw and how they came to the conclusion that it was I who committed such a heinous act. Please, do enlighten me with the details.
Dada saw you in woods.
Ah, yes, you mentioned that earlier, didn't you? The mysterious and enigmatic figure known as Dada. It seems she has quite the knack for spotting me in the woods, doesn't she? I must admit, I find it rather amusing. But tell me, detective, who is this intriguing individual named Dada? What is her connection to these woods, and why does she seem to be so fixated on my whereabouts? I do love a good mystery, and it seems we have yet another one to unravel. Pray, do share more about this fascinating character.
She live in woods.
How utterly captivating. So, this elusive and captivating woman, Dada, lives in the very same woods where I have allegedly been spotted. How extraordinary. I wonder what draws her to such a secluded and mystical place. Does she have any peculiar habits or unique qualities that make her stand out? I do find the allure of the unknown to be utterly irresistible. Please, do regale me with more tales of this bewitching creature, dear Detective Martini. I'm all ears.
Why you lie about being in woods?
Lie, no, my dear detective, I assure you, I have no reason to lie about being in the woods. In fact, I find the idea quite intriguing. It seems there is a case of mistaken identity at play here. Perhaps someone who resembles me was seen in the woods, but it certainly wasn't me. I must say, these twists and turns of our conversation are quite fascinating. Now, let's delve deeper into this mystery, shall we? Lie. Oh, my apologies if there was any misunderstanding.
Oop, he's off again.
I understand why it may seem that way, but I can honestly tell you that I have not been in the woods recently. It is possible that someone may have mistaken me for someone else, or perhaps there is some confusion at play. I value honesty and transparency, and I have no
The
reason to
evil
deceive
twin
you.
alibi.
Good sir, let us
Maybe.
focus on finding the truth behind these events, together.
Yeah, he's lying. Let me see. Let me go back to the grocery store and talk to this other liar. You were seen near Pascal's on date of murder.
Oh, Detective Martini, I must say, I have no idea about the locations of those dreadful murders. It's all so tragic, isn't it? But really, my dear, I was simply here at Pascal's doing my regular shopping. Just a housewife in search of the finest ingredients for my next culinary masterpiece. Surely, there must be other leads to explore in this investigation, don't you think?
You were seen here between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m.
Oh, how intriguing. I do love a good mystery, don't you? But I'm afraid I can't shed any light on the matter. I'm just a simple woman, going about my daily routine. Perhaps someone mistook me for another glamorous lady in red. It wouldn't be the first time, I assure you. Now, tell me, have there been any new developments in the case?
Count Gravison lied about knowing the victims.
Ah, Dear Detective Martini, I must confess, the enigmatic Count Gravison is a fascinating character. His peculiarities and eccentricities are simply captivating. I do enjoy spending my leisurely afternoons at his grand manor, where he regales us with his delightful
Femme fatale
anecdotes and
incognito?
showcases
I think
his
so.
collection of curious antiquities. Such a peculiar man, but certainly never a dull moment in his company. Truly, Vaudeville is a city filled with remarkable individuals.
Count Gravison's scene where Maria murdered.
Oh, my, the scene of a murder. How dreadful. I can't even fathom such a gruesome sight. But you know, detective, it does make one's heart race with curiosity.
Yeah, it was the wrong scene.
The allure of mystery and intrigue.
I'm gonna have to type it out.
Like the pages of a thriller novel. But of course, I would much rather immerse myself in the joy of picking mushrooms or planning my next extravagant.
Yeah.
Life is far too short to dwell on
Shush.
such dark matters. Wouldn't you agree?
Shush. This is what I actually meant to say.
Well, my dear, I must say that I find it quite intriguing that the enigmatic Count Gravison was seen near the location of Maria's unfortunate demise. Such a scandalous twist in this tale of woe. It seems that our dear Count may have more secrets hidden beneath his mysterious facade. But, alas, I am but an innocent bystander in this grand theater of life.
Mm-hmm.
Do tell me, have you uncovered any other fascinating tidbits in your investigation?
Mrs. Bucket. Yeah, the hat is kind of reminiscent of that, isn't it? I can't stand this lady. She reminds me of a member of my distant family. That is unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Would definitely not want that in my family. Excuse me. Let me look at my notebook for a second. Who went with you to India?
India. My dearest Detective Martini, what a marvelous adventure was. You see, my late husband Victor and I, along with the charismatic Count Gravison and a few other investors and entertainers, embarked on a journey to India. Our purpose? To evaluate the possibility of starting a business together, a wandering show of odd artifacts and artists from all corners of the globe. Yeah, the memories of that vibrant land, the colors, the flavors, the exotic wonders we encountered. It was a truly exhilarating experience, one that I shall cherish forever.
Was Haley, Maria, and Nicola in India?
My dear,
Or were.
I confess that I find your question quite amusing. Maria, Nicola, and Haley in India. How scandalous. Such wild imaginations people have these days. No, my dear. They were not in the grandeur of the Indian landscape with us. They
Oh
were
my
here
goodness,
in
I can't
Vaudeville,
believe
and I
Mrs.
assure
Bucket
you,
is known abroad.
in the
Oh yeah.
Let us focus on the more delightful aspects of life, like the joy of savoring a perfectly cooked meal or the thrill of discovering a new recipe. Don't you agree?
Yeah, Keeping Up Appearances was beloved by our grandmother, so we got into it because of her. Best BBC show ever. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can watch some of it on YouTube. It's just not good quality. One Foot in the Grave was good too. If you haven't heard of it, it's worth having a look into. My library has the entire box set. One Foot in the Grave. I don't know if I've heard of that one. I'll have to look that up. Oh, I don't know what to do with this woman. Michelle said they were in India with you.
My Detective Martini, it seems you've stumbled upon a web of lies and deceit. How intriguing. It appears that false tales about my ventures in the enchanting land of India.
Mm-hmm.
But fear not, for the truth shall always come to light. After all, one cannot hide behind falsehoods forever. Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe Pascalis has just received a fresh batch of truffles.
Victor Meldrew.
I simply cannot resist indulging in such culinary delights. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Little... Yep. I can't say that I like here, though, because I need to take the dogs out. And it's just me here today. So, let's see. What's our word count? Uh-oh. Did my stream freeze? Okay, it looks like it's going again. Okay, so, like I was saying, apologies. I think I'm going to need to call it here so I can take the dogs out and have a spot of lunch myself, a very late lunch, or maybe an early dinner at this point. But the final word count is 1,192, which means that I beat my last word count, which was a bit over 1,500. So that's good. That's making progress. I'll put that aside. So the idea for the end of this stream was to try accusing someone and see if we're correct. So I'm going to do that.
Let's see what you got. Detective Martini.
Oh, they're going to do it by person, huh? Who killed Haley Greenwood? Let's see. Haley. She was found outside her place of work. Ooh, I'm not sure who killed her. I think Maria was killed by Count Gravison, and I think Nicola was killed by Mrs. Potter. But who the heck was Haley killed by? Wait a minute. I've never even seen this guy before. Okay. Let me see. This guy was pretty suspicious. We'll select him.
Martini, may I ask you why?
Who killed Maria? That's the animal one. Where's Count Gravison?
Are you sure, Detective Martini? And why?
Believe it was, business stuff, and then I think she killed...
Interesting choice, Detective Martini.
I think it all had to do with business, but I'm probably wrong on all of this.
Detective Martini, this is complete nonsense.
Yep. Complete nonsense. That's what they tell you if you don't have enough evidence. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. Have a good one, Jolly. Thank you. Does the video keep appearing to load on your end too, or do I need to check my... No, it seems to be on my end, Jen. I'm not sure why. It was acting fine for a while, but I keep getting errors now. Not sure why. But anyways, I was pretty sure I didn't have enough evidence to make the right accusations there. So I'm going to leave it here for now. I'll probably put a poll up on the channel to see if people want me to continue playing this or not, or leave it where it is. But thank you to everyone who came out today. Those of you who were able to pop in and say hello. Those of you who were able to stay for the whole thing, or at least most of it. Appreciate all of you. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And hope to see you in the next one.